Chapter 2780. On the day Su Yun and the others left, a big news broke out in Yanjing City. This matter had truly shocked the entire Yanjing City. Dongqing Jiu, who could shake Yanjing City with a stomp of his feet, was dead. Furthermore, none of the 3 experts by Sire Nine's side were left alive. They were all beheaded and killed in Sire Nine's mansion in the East City. After the police intervened, they did not get any clues. Some of Jiu Ye's opponents said that this was retribution, the wrath of heaven. This matter also spread to the ears of Wan Quangxiao of the Dragon Brigade. Wan Quangxiao was also extremely surprised by this matter. What he heard from Su Yun yesterday immediately appeared in Wan Quangxiao's mind. Obviously, this matter must have something to do with yesterday's auction. Dongqing Jiu's words offended someone, causing a Ming Dynasty golden crown to be ignored. Of course, the person who sold the golden crown would be angry out of humiliation. Blood Wolf Regiment. These words kept rippling in Wan Quangxiao's ears. The Blood Wolf Regiment had been silent for so many years. Now, they actually made a move again, and did such a big thing. This matter that caused a sensation in the entire Yanjing City was really disturbing. Old Jiu's friends in his circle were all on edge. No one knew what was going on. Even the 3 masters could not resist the opponent. How powerful was that opponent? Just thinking about it gave people goosebumps. According to the current situation, the Blood Wolf Regiment was no longer the target they needed to monitor. After all, they had disappeared for so many years and had not done anything outrageous. But once this matter came out, Wan Quangxiao could no longer sit idly by. Once the Blood Wolf Regiment set off a bloody storm in Yanjing, it would be his dereliction of duty. Wan Quangxiao quickly dialed Wang Yi's phone and asked Wang Yi to come to his office to find him. The first sentence Wang Yi said after arriving was, "Have you heard what happened in Dongqing City?" "I asked you to come here for this matter." Wan Quangxiao said, "I'm sure you've already guessed what I'm thinking. We can't just sit by and watch." "Yes." Wang Yi said, "This matter is indeed very troublesome." Wan Quangxiao took a deep breath and said, "We don't know anything about the Blood Wolf Gang now, but they can make the 3 masters of Dongqing Laojiu die so easily. Their strength can be imagined. I think we really need to consider this matter carefully." Wang Yi said, "We can't act rashly." "Let's figure out the Blood Wolf Regiment first," Wan Quangxiao said. Wang Yi nodded. "I've already arranged for Hua Leitang and Han Zhan to go to the east side of the city to investigate." "Not bad, you're even more nimble than me." Wan Quangxiao laughed. "With you helping me with this matter, I feel even more confident in my heart." "We can't let these young people take part in this operation," Wang Yi said firmly. Wan Quangxiao thought for a moment and nodded. Wang Yi was right. Among these young people, only Hua Leitang, Gong Zhouxiao, and Emperor Yuan Qing were qualified to participate in this mission. Those who had not broken through the Supreme Power Realm, or just touched the bottleneck of the Supreme Power Realm, could not participate. It was too dangerous. As for those who only had the strength of a supermaster, they could not touch this dangerous thing. There was no one below the Supreme Power Realm in the Blood Wolf Gang. This was the lowest level. It was unknown whether they had a master of the Profound World Realm, or how many masters of the Profound World Realm they had. Wan Quangxiao knew very well that among the 3 masters of Dongqing Laojiu, only one of them was inferior to Wang Yi in strength. He was also at the 7th level of the Supreme Power Realm. As for the other 2, one was at the 9th level of the Supreme Power Realm, and the other had broken through the Profound World Realm. Even with such strength, they died so miserably. When they come back from the investigation, you ask Han Zhan to withdraw. Wan Quangxiao said, "He can't participate in this matter." Wang Yi nodded, "I know. Let them do a simple investigation first. Once they detect danger, withdraw immediately." Wan Quangxiao said, "I'll arrange other things." "Has there been nothing that can make you excited for a long time?" Wang Yi looked at Wan Quangxiao and asked with a smile. Wan Quangxiao nodded. Indeed, this matter really made him a little excited. He had not met an opponent who could make him nervous for many years. Blood Wolf Gang, Wan Quangxiao did not care how strong you were. Those who dared to make trouble in Yanjing City could not be forgiven. As for old Jiao of Dongcheng, Wan Guangxiao did not need to mourn for him. Old Jiao himself was not a particularly clean person. This matter happened to old Jiao of Dongqing, which could be regarded as retribution. We must deal with this matter well and solve it well. Wan Guangxiao said, we must solve the matter of the Blood Wolf gang before the Spring Festival. Wang Yi smiled slightly. The task is difficult. I really feel a little tired. If it's not tiring, we don't need to talk about it here. Although Wan Guangxiao was nervous, he was also confident. He really did not believe that anyone could stir up trouble in front of him. Not even the Blood Wolf gang. No matter how many masters of the Supreme Power Realm or Profound World Realm there were, his Dragon Brigade was not a place to be trifled with. The Dragon Brigade with hidden dragons and crouching tigers had not encountered any trouble so far. This kind of fighting spirit was only possessed by Wan Guangxiao when he was young. A strong opponent could make people excited. It was really like this. Then I will arrange it first. If there is anything, you can call me at any time. Wang Yi said, also, although you are excited, you should pay attention. After all, you are not young anymore. Don't stay up late because of this matter and overdraft your body. It is not worth it. Wan Guangxiao laughed and waved his hand to indicate that he did not need to worry about it. You go and do your thing. I know what to do. After Wang Yi left, Wan Guangxiao picked up the phone again. The death of old Jiao of Dongqing caused a stir in the whole Yanjing city. Even Blackwater, an outsider of Yanjing City, heard some news. He took a deep breath and could not help but sigh that the Blood Wolf gang was really quick and clean. This was a display of strength. Yesterday, Blackwater also sneaked into the auction. He also knew that old Jiao of Dongcheng said that the golden crown was worn by eunuchs. Obviously, this matter offended the Blood Wolf gang on this point. There must be many reasons for the Blood Wolf gang to be angry. If it was just because they did not like old Jiao of Dongqing and thought that he was too arrogant, they would not have done it. A large part of the reason was that old Jiao of Dongqing cut off their source of income. This was the fuse that led to the explosion. If it was not because of this, they would not have done it. They were angry because they had no money. If the Blood Wolf gang was not forced by money, there was really no need for this. Blackwater smiled when he thought of this. It seemed that his chances of success were greater. Wasn't the Blood Wolf gang poor? Then he was here to give them money. The Zhao family had plenty of money. Zhao Zihu was also willing to pay this money. In order to save his life, what price could he not offer? Now there were more than 2 hours before the appointed time. Blackwater simply ate something and went to the tea pavilion of Wangfu Hotel in advance. He could not wait to meet the Blood Wolf gang. Today, as long as their people appeared in front of him, then the matter of cooperation would most likely be settled. Blackwater was confident that he could handle this matter beautifully. As long as he had the confidence, he would be able to make Su Yun, that bastard, lose completely. He wanted to make up for the humiliation he had suffered. Chapter 2781. Wangfu Hotel was a well-known hotel in Yanjing City. Its Chinese food and tea were very famous in the world. The tea pavilion inside was a favorite place for high-ranking officials and nobles. Many good teas that could not be bought in the market could be drunk in this place. Moreover, the tea here was brewed with water from a 10,000-year-old spring in Kunlun Mountain, so the taste was very special. Just for the water used to brew the tea, they had to charter a cargo plane and transport the water to Kunlun every few days. This water was not the same as the mineral water sold in the market. This mountain spring was far better than the mineral water in the supermarket by more than 180 streets. It was easy to imagine how much it would cost to drink a cup of tea in this place. But Blackwater did not care about this. What he wanted was to find the most luxurious place to show his economic strength to the Blood Wolf group, who had a headache because of money. Only with economic strength could things be done beautifully and the cooperation could be carried out better. Blackwater first ordered a pot of tea guanyin and tasted the tea carefully. Although 2 hours was not long, it was not slow either. After a pot of tea, Blackwater stood in front of the window and looked at the parking lot of the hotel downstairs. One after another, luxury cars appeared and left. The hotel was very busy. Yanjing City, the capital of Huaxia, was the city with the most rich people in the world. It really could not be underestimated. The total wealth of the people in Yanjing City was probably many times more than all the big bosses on Wall Street in the United States. It was a small shabby house in a corner. That was 7 figures. It was scary. Soon, a black Mercedes-Benz car appeared in the parking lot of the hotel. After the car stopped, the driver quickly got off to open the door. His capable action immediately attracted Blackwater's attention. Blackwater's gaze was fixed. The person who came out later was Chen Zhan Wenxiuping, whom he had seen yesterday. The person who came out was the number 1 figure of the Blood Wolf Group, Xing Pangjing. An expert was an expert. No matter at any time, he would have a kind of momentum. This kind of momentum could only be felt by people who were also experts. A smile appeared on Blackwater's face. He knew that the 8 characters had been set. The rest would depend on how they talked in the next pot of tea. Blackwater asked the waiter to take away the tea he had drunk, and then arranged the waiter to help him at the door. He sat down and waited quietly. A few minutes later, the door was pushed open. Xing Pangjing and Wenxiuping walked into the room one after another. Blackwater stood up with a smile and said politely, "Please have a seat." Xing Pangjing took a quick glance at Blackwater and sat down. He said casually, "Aren't you being too polite? This is the sincerity that I should show." Blackwater smiled faintly. He could see that this person was the real boss, and the one he saw yesterday was at most an assistant. "What would you like to drink?" Blackwater asked naturally. Xing Pangjing didn't even look at the tea menu. Priming Spring Pu-er. This Priming Spring Pu-er tea cake was sold for 180,000 yuan. In this Wangfu Hotel's tea pavilion, the asking price for a pot of tea was 169,898 yuan. Blackwater was startled. He had just seen the price of this tea on the tea list. The price of this tea was at the top. Close to 170,000. This was the price of a joint venture intermediate car. Xing Pangjing said it casually, as if it was normal. It was like an ordinary person ordering a pot of chrysanthemum tea at a restaurant. Blackwater had just ordered a pot of tea guanyin which cost 38,000 yuan. Blackwater smiled and signaled the waiter to prepare the tea. Xing Pangjing was such a luxurious person. Not to mention this, he had even ordered a pot of tea that cost 38,000 yuan. In the whole Huaxia, there were only a few things that Xing Pangjing didn't dare to buy. If it weren't for Xing Pangjing's squandering, the Blood Wolf gang could at least survive for 2 generations. However, Xing Pangjing's extravagance was far more than the previous massacres. Since Xing Pangjing took the position of massacres, he had been spending money like water. If it were an ordinary person, they wouldn't know how to spend money when they heard that it was in the hundreds of millions. But Xing Pangjing spent it very simply. He had done the feat of buying more than a dozen luxury cars at the same time and spent 500 million yuan in a day. It was normal to spend 7 digits for a dinner in a large hotel. It seemed that a meal would cost at least 1 million yuan. Therefore, the place that Blackwater chose didn't have any pressure on Xing Pangjing. He was a frequent visitor to these places. Xing Pangjing often visited places that were several times more luxurious than this place. Although the Blood Wolf gang was now at the end of the road, Xing Pangjing's consumption concept still hadn't changed. There was a saying that a starving camel was bigger than a horse. Even if the Blood Wolf gang had no money, Xing Pangjing's daily consumption was no less than hundreds of thousands, and the consumption of the entire Blood Wolf gang's personnel was more than 1 million yuan. Xing Pangjing certainly wouldn't find a way to make money when he was completely out of money. Instead, he would let Wenxiuping take the golden crown to auction when he felt that it was urgent. This had to be done in advance. "I haven't introduced myself yet. I'm Blackwater." Blackwater said, "I'm here on behalf of Zhao family, one of the 7 families of Heptagram, to talk about cooperation. If you have something to say, just say it." Xing Pangjing was a straightforward person. "You can find people from the Blood Wolf gang, so you're not a simple person. I'm Xing Pangjing, the current butcher of the Blood Wolf Gang. If you have something to say, just say it to me. Blackwater smiled and looked at Wen Xiaoping. Before Wen Xiaoping could speak, Xing Pangjing said, Wen Xiaoping is the Thousand Slayer of the Blood Wolf Gang. He can also make decisions for the Blood Wolf Gang. Blackwater clasped his hands. It's really an honor to meet the two of you today. I don't like fake politeness. Xing Pangjing's reaction was obviously a slap in the face. Blackwater did feel that his hot face was stuck on a cold butt. But considering the strength of the other party, he didn't dare to say anything. After all, Dongcheng Jiuyi and the three masters around him were just disabled last night. Presumably, Xing Pangjing's anger had not been completely eliminated. Mr. Xing is really straightforward, Blackwater said. Then I'll get straight to the point. At this time, the Pre-Ming Ming Spring Pu'er tea arrived. The tea fragrance was overflowing. Blackwater sighed in his heart. This guy really knows how to enjoy. It's really good tea. While tasting the tea, Xing Pangjing didn't seem to want to be disturbed, so he raised his hand to signal Blackwater to keep quiet and not disturb his mood. Xing Pangjing was very particular when tasting tea. He looked, smelled, and tasted it step by step. Blackwater didn't say anything. After all, this good tea really needed to be tasted carefully. A pot of tea, 3 people tasted it. For about 10 minutes, no one spoke. Blackwater did want to speak a few times, but when he saw Xing Pangjing's enjoyment, he didn't say anything. Not until Xing Pangjing showed an expression of enjoyment did Blackwater know that it was time to get to the point. Good tea. It's really good tea. Xing Pangjing hadn't drunk this kind of top-grade tea for a long time. He liked drinking pu'er tea. The difference between top-grade pu'er tea and ordinary pu tea was quite huge, so Xing Pangjing was really satisfied with today's tea. When he was in a good mood, he naturally had the spirit to talk about business. Chapter 2782. What do you need? Just tell me. Xing Pangjing smiled. He was very satisfied with Blackwater's sensible behavior. Xing Pangjing was such a person. He needed money now. As long as one had money, they could discuss any cooperation with him. However, they had to respect him. If they didn't respect him, he didn't care who they were or how much capital they had. If they dared to provoke him, he would turn hostile. Dongcheng Jiuyi was a good example. I just want to ask Mr. Xing's Blood Wolf Gang to help me clean up a few eyesores, Blackwater said casually. Xing Pangjing was very astute. With your strength, do you need others to help you? I like to be direct. They do have some tricks up their sleeves. However, only one of them can't be underestimated. His strength is on par with mine, Blackwater said. So, I can't deal with the others. If Zhao family is one of the big 7 Radiance families, how can they only have one expert? Xing Pangjing laughed. You don't have to hide it. If I want to cooperate with you, so what if they have 10 experts on par with you? Blackwater was stunned. He felt that Xing Pangjing was too arrogant. 10 experts on Blackwater's level could challenge the 5 war gods. They do have 7 or 8 people, but only one of them is a threat, Blackwater said. I have another request. I need to deal with this person personally. Wan Xiaoping frowned. So we just have to deal with the other small fries you mentioned? I haven't agreed. Xing Pangjing glanced at Wan Xiaoping, indicating that he didn't want to cooperate. Wan Xiaoping immediately shut up. Blackwater smiled. In fact, no matter how Xing Pangjing tried to hide it, he couldn't hide his original intention of cooperating. Mr. Xing, although those guys are average, they are very cunning. Blackwater said, Zhao family didn't arrange for anyone else because they don't want to get involved. That's why they sent me to find you. What's the effect of getting involved? Blackwater shook his head. I don't know. Xing Pangjing snorted. He didn't care. If Mr. Xing has any concerns, I don't want to make things difficult for you, Blackwater said. I'll find someone else. Xing Pangjing didn't say anything. Today, I'll take it as making a new friend in Huaxia, Blackwater Taoist said. Even if we can't do business, we'll still be friends. Who knows, maybe we can work together in the future. Xing Pengjing said indifferently, it seems that you don't believe in the strength of our Blood Wolf group. I wouldn't dare, of course I wouldn't dare, Blackwater Taoist said. If I didn't know the strength of the Blood Wolf pack, how could I have come here to look for you? The news about that bastard ninth brother of Dongqing County has spread all over Yanjing City this morning. Xing Pengjing said, let me ask you, are the three masters by his side all weaker than the kid you mentioned? There's one person who might be better than them, but that person is my target, Blackwater said. Xing Pengjing nodded. What about the others? Who else is stronger than the three masters around ninth brother Dongqing? There is another person who should be almost at the level of the top master beside ninth brother Dongqing. But he was injured when we fought last time. Blackwater continued, there is another person whose strength is close to the three masters. The rest is not worth mentioning. The two people Blackwater Taoist mentioned were obviously Jesu and Lin Gu. Jesu was the one who was close to the level of the top master beside ninth brother Dongqing, and Lin Ji's strength was indeed close to the level of the three masters. You've already fought? Xing Pengjing was stunned. Blackwater Taoist nodded. I was careless. The opponent was cunning, so I suffered a loss. I lost 6 people, 2 of whom were top masters in the Guru realm. Xing Pengjing nodded. That opponent was really something. How many people do you need? As long as there are 8 masters in the Guru realm, I can make them lose completely, Blackwater Taoist said. Xing Pengjing smiled. No wonder they came to him. Perhaps no one in the world could arrange 8 masters of the Supreme Power Realm at once, except for the Blood Wolf gang, no one else could do it. Ha 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 ha. It seems that you want to completely eliminate them this time. Blackwater Taoist's eyes flashed with a cold light. Of course. I have to eliminate them. Xing Pengjing turned to Wen Xiaoping and said, tell the people outside to make a pot of light biluacun. Wen Xiaoping immediately did as he was told. Blackwater Taoist didn't speak, quietly waiting for Xing Pengjing to give him an answer. This matter doesn't sound so complicated. Xing Pengjing said, just send people to solve some small problems, and those small fries don't have much ability to fight back. Blackwater Taoist nodded. In fact, you can choose to cooperate with many people, but you're worried that you can't make it foolproof. Xing Pengjing said, leave it to the Blood Wolf group, and we can guarantee that you won't make any mistakes. Blackwater Taoist admitted that this was indeed his idea. If it weren't foolproof, I wouldn't have come to you. Blackwater Taoist said, as long as the problem can be solved quickly, the Zhao family will pay any price. It seems that these people are a big threat to the Zhao family. Xing Pengjing smiled. Then, can we talk about how great the any price is now? Blackwater Taoist was somewhat excited. So, you agree to cooperate with us? Of course not. Xing Pengjing said, the Blood Wolf group has never done anything for an ordinary person since ancient times. You should know that all the previous leaders of the Blood Wolf group were emperors. And the Zhao family. Ha ha ha. Blackwater Taoist heard him putting on airs and said, Mr. Xing, this is not the era of the past. In this era, there's no such thing as emperors. Whoever has the money is the emperor. Xing Pengjing's expression changed, and he was stunned. If you want the treatment of an emperor, you have to pay the price that an emperor can pay. My Blood Wolf gang is not one of those small organizations in the underground world. We will do anything for a little bit of profit. 500 million, Blackwater Taoist said. I'll give you 500 million on behalf of the Zhao family. Xing Pengjing was stunned. This is the starting price of your golden crown, Blackwater Taoist said. Now, you don't need to auction the crown to get 500 million. To be honest, this was indeed a huge temptation. However, Xing Pengjing would not show his greedy side. He smiled faintly. Do you think I'm not worth as much as a golden crown? Mr. Xing, it's just one thing. It's not like I'm asking your people to be my underlings, Blackwater Taoist said. I think this price is really good, right? Xing Pengjing nodded. It's not bad, but if Mr. Xing wants to ask for an exorbitant price, I advise you to stop, Blackwater Taoist said. I'm a forthright and generous person, but that doesn't mean I'm a fish on the chopping block. Xing Pengjing did not finish his sentence. At this time, a new pot of Biluakun tea was served. Compared to the previous tea, this pot was much cheaper. Xing Pengjing was still the same. He did not want to talk or listen to others while tasting tea. Tea tasting was tea tasting. It was a very focused thing. This was Xing Pengjing's attitude toward the tea ceremony, and also his attitude toward life. Chapter 2783. After Xing Pengjing calmed down, he slowly put down the teacup and said, Since it's a fixed price, there's no room for negotiation. I don't think it's appropriate, so let's forget about it. See you later. Xing Pengjing got up and was about to leave. Blackwater was really confused for a moment. He couldn't figure out what was going on in Xing Pengjing's mind at all. 500 million. He just wanted to arrange a few Guru Realm experts who he didn't lack to deal with some small fish in their eyes. How could he refuse such a simple thing? 500 million was not a small amount, but perhaps in the eyes of someone like Xing Pengjing who could spend $500,000 a day when he was rich, it was not a temptation. Mr. Xing, please wait. Blackwater quickly stood up and said, Cooperation is something that needs to be discussed. You haven't said anything yet and you're going to refuse? I want to discuss it. Xing Pengjing said, but what you said just now made me very uncomfortable. I don't like to cooperate with people who make me uncomfortable. Can't I? Blackwater's face darkened. People with power could be willful. He originally thought that he could be willful with money, but in front of people with power, he couldn't be willful even if he had money. Money was always a capricious capital in the eyes of the poor. However, those who were really rich didn't dare to be willful in front of people with power or strength. When they were willful, they were really willful. Mr. Xing, I'm a straightforward person. If I said anything that made you unhappy, I'll take it back immediately. Blackwater said, I hope you can give me a chance to cooperate. Xing Pengjing smiled slightly and said, Okay, I can give you a chance to continue the cooperation, but you have to give me a statement. Please say it. Xing Pengjing said, In your eyes, what is an exorbitant demand? Is it an exorbitant demand if I talk about the price? No. Of course not. Blackwater knew what he should say now. Xing Pengjing smiled and said, That's good. Don't put on airs before I say anything. It's all a misunderstanding. Blackwater tried to lower herself. Although he was also a dignified Earth-profound realm expert, he didn't dare to be certain that he could fight against this Blood Wolf Regiment's Tu Cheng. It could even be said that the Blood Wolf Regiment's Chen Zhan behind him was a rather troublesome fellow. Not to mention that the other party could summon a group of experts to gang up on him. It's good that it was a misunderstanding. Xing Pengjing said, It doesn't matter if it's a misunderstanding. If there's a misunderstanding, we can clear it up. Once it's cleared up, everyone can let go. Blackwater heaved a sigh of relief. Mr. Xing, please take a seat. Shall I ask someone to prepare another pot of Preming Spring Poo? No need. Xing Pengjing said, You have to be in a good mood when tasting tea. If you're not in a good mood, whatever you drink will be tasteless. Blackwater laughed dryly. Then let's get down to business. What did Mr. Xing want to say just now? Please continue. What did I say just now? Xing Pengjing turned to look at Wen Xiaoping. Wen Xiaoping said, About the figure of 500 million. That's right. Xing Pengjing nodded and said, 500 million. The starting price of my golden crown is 500 million. If it weren't for that bastard old Joe of Dongqing making trouble, this golden crown would have at least doubled its value, right? Blackwater definitely had to go along with him. Yes, this golden crown is indeed worth that much. So, Xing Pengjing said, 500 million is nothing to me. Even if I can't sell this golden crown, I can still live, can't I? Blackwater was stunned. No matter what Xing Pangjing said, he only had one thought in his mind. 500 million was definitely not enough. Mr. Xing, how much do you think it's appropriate? Blackwater said. You want 8 people from me, 8 experts above the Grandmaster realm. Xing Pangjing said, if you put up a bounty all over the world, you can still find 8 people. But even if it's just a motley crew, I'm afraid the sum of money they want from you is more than that, right? Blackwater was startled. Wasn't this a bit exaggerated? Generally speaking, experts in the Grandmaster realm who helped others with this kind of risky business would ask for around 20 million. 8 people together wouldn't be able to get more than 200 million. Blackwater had already doubled it. How can my people compare to the cohesiveness of a motley crew? Xing Pangjing said, if a motley crew is in trouble, they will scatter like birds and beasts. As for my people, as long as I give the order, they will solve your problem even if they die. Blackwater nodded. He admitted this point. If it wasn't for this, he wouldn't have doubled the price. So, you can't use the price of a motley crew in the underground world to negotiate with me, Xing Pangjing said. Blackwater was silent for a moment. Then name a price. If it's you and I want you to help me kill a few people without fail, what price will you ask for? Blackwater was startled. He really didn't know how to say it. If he said too little, his value would be lowered. If he said too much, the other party would have a reference. I know you won't say it. Xing Pangjing smiled. I'll help you. I'll arrange 8 people for you, 2 of which are Earth-profound realm experts. I'll let my left and right arms personally take action, which is the 1000/ when shopping you're looking at right now. As for the other 6, I'll arrange top-level experts of the Grandmaster realm for you. They won't let you down. Blackwater's heart was surging. In this way, I'll first guarantee that your request will be foolproof. Xing Pangjing said, don't you think it's reasonable? Blackwater nodded. It's indeed very reasonable. If you think it's reasonable, then it's reasonable. Xing Pangjing said, my right-hand man, I won't let him do it without 9 figures. I believe you also think you're worth this price, right? Blackwater was silent. One person had given him 100 million? The 2 Earth-profound realm experts I'll arrange for you are worth the price of that golden crown. Xing Pangjing said, of course, the others won't waste their time with you. Mr. Xing, just tell me how much you want. This time, it was Blackwater's turn to not want to listen in circles. Xing Pangjing smiled. Okay, then I'll give you a straightforward number. I'll double it, 1 billion. Blackwater took a cold breath. This Xing Pangjing really knew how to ask for an exorbitant price. What did he take him for? This was because he saw that Blackwater had a favor to ask of him. He really didn't have any other choice, so he set the price so high. It was really a bit of a bully. Perfect. Xing Pangjing said, the money you give me is perfect. The things I help you do are also perfect. Blackwater thought for a long time and didn't say anything. He couldn't make the decision easily. Since this is Mr. Xing's condition, I'll call the master and ask. Blackwater said, after all, I'm not the one paying for it. I'm also working for someone else. Xing Pangjing nodded. As you wish. Blackwater got up and went out to call Zhao Zihu. After going out, he was worried that the people in the room would be bored waiting, so he asked for a pot of pre-Ming Ming spring pu'er tea. When Xing Pangjing heard that there was room for negotiation, his mood became a lot better. Tu Cheng, do you really think that there's a possibility of cooperation? Wen Xiaoping didn't dare to believe. So much money, just to deal with a few small fries. I keep feeling that things aren't that simple. Xing Pangjing smiled. We're talking about this matter, and we're receiving money for this matter. When the time comes, if there are other requests, of course we won't agree. Even if we agree, we'll have to talk about another price. Wan Xiaoping was startled. Tu Cheng now really had money in his eyes. His mind was filled with matters related to money. Wait for him to come back and hear what he has to say. Xing Pangjing said, don't take it seriously. Chapter 2784. After coming out of the room, Blackwater found a quiet place and called Zhao Zihu. Zhao Zihu was very excited when he received Blackwater's call. This was the only thing he was looking forward to. Blackwater obviously had news. How is it? What's the situation now? Have you got in touch with the Blood Wolf gang? Zhao Zihu couldn't wait to ask. Blackwater didn't inform Zhao Zihu when he found the Blood Wolf gang. He wanted to confirm the matter first. Now it was basically confirmed that as long as the money was in place, the cooperation would not run away. I'm talking about cooperation with the current leader of the Blood Wolf gang. Blackwater said, Master Zhao, I'm afraid you really need to give me a positive answer. Zhao Zihu was stunned. What do you mean? What is the positive answer? Money. Blackwater said, it's not that simple to let the Blood Wolf gang do things. They have always been serving the nobles and are very arrogant. It's just money. I'll smash them to death. Zhao Zihu said, how much do they want? Give it to them. I don't believe they can ask for a sky-high price. 5 billion. Blackwater said. Obviously, the price he wanted was doubled again. Zhao Zihu's brain buzzed. What? Zhao Zihu had been prepared for the lion's demand, but he didn't expect it to be so big. 8 Grandmaster Realm experts went out to deal with the matter and then it was over. How could it be 5 billion? Zhao Zihu really wanted to ask Blackwater if this was the price of a full year's contract. Are you kidding me? Zhao Zihu said, He, Blackwater, you know what level of master you are. You know how much money the Tao family gave you when you were in the Tao family. They want 5 billion? Are they crazy? Blackwater said, if the Blood Wolf gang didn't need money, I'm afraid they wouldn't care about us. Zhao Zihu scolded at once. F***ck off. Are they still pretending? The one who pays is the boss. They are hired by me. The Blood Wolf gang is different from those hired people. Blackwater said, Master Zhao, you know this. If you think you can make the Blood Wolf gang work for you with money, then you are wrong. Zhao Zihu's entire body trembled. Then what? And you want me to serve them like my masters? Blackwater took a deep breath. Young Master Zhao, I'm serving the master now. Zhao Zihu glared at him. He really wanted to curse and say that he didn't want to play anymore. But when he thought about it, what kind of person could be at this level? It must be because the other party had the strength and had a card up his sleeve. That was why it was said that at a high level, even if they didn't cooperate with you, they wouldn't lower their heads and pretend to be subservient to the master. They were a bunch of F***king unyielding people. Blackwater, you have to be in control of how to deal with this matter. Zhao Zihu said, this cooperation must be negotiated, but the price he wants, I definitely can't accept it. Blackwater said, then what kind of price can young Master Zhao accept? You have to give me the lowest price, otherwise I don't know how to negotiate. What's their bottom line? Zhao Zihu asked. If I knew, I wouldn't have called you. Blackwater said, I tested the price. I said 500 million was already a good price, but he just got up and left. Zhao Zihu was stunned. That bad ***? He wants to arrange 8 people. 2 of them are Earth Profound Realm experts who are on par with me, and 6 of them are Master Realm experts. Blackwater said, but the allocation is very high. Zhao Zihu grinned, thinking that this allocation was like an alien in a computer, and the price was also like a mobile phone's Viagra. Then I can't accept the price they offered, Zhao Zihu said. In that case, if they don't agree to 500 million, we can't negotiate 5 billion either. Then let's convert it to 1 billion. I accept it. Ask them to show some professionalism. Do it beautifully. Blackwater sighed, then I can only say that I'll try my best to negotiate with them. Zhao Zihu nodded. You can't just listen to them on the price. They're too used to it. 1 billion is enough for us, but I don't know if they can. Blackwater sighed again. Young Master Zhao, if I can't reach an agreement, don't blame me. Zhao Zihu was stunned. Who else could he turn to if he couldn't reach an agreement? Try your best to think of a way. If you can't reach an agreement, call me again. Zhao Zihu said, we'll discuss it again. Okay. Blackwater said. After hanging up, a smile appeared on Blackwater's face. He didn't care whether it was 1 billion or 800 million. After all, he wasn't the one paying. The reason why he had said the extra 500 million was to give Zhao Zihu a cushion. If he said 1 billion, Zhao Zihu would feel that he saved a lot and didn't spend much. This was one of Blackwater's tactics. If Blackwater directly said that the Blood Wolf gang would offer 1 billion, Zhao Zihu would definitely think it was too expensive and ask to negotiate the price. Maybe he would give him 800 million as the bottom line. This way, it wouldn't be easy for Blackwater to negotiate with Xing Pengjing. Therefore, it was absolutely necessary for Blackwater to do this. Moreover, he really wanted to make this happen, so he didn't care about a few hundred million. As long as Zhao Zihu could afford it, he didn't care about anything. 1 billion. As long as the matter was settled, it wouldn't do any harm to Blackwater. It was just that Zhao Zihu had to pay more. He didn't care about it at all. In the end, Blackwater could make friends with Xing Pengjing. In this world where strength meant everything, it was an opportunity for Blackwater to be friends with someone like Xing Pengjing. Blackwater hung up and returned to his room. What did the Zhao family say? Xing Pengjing smiled. If you want to continue to waste time on the price, then I'll go back first. I don't have so much time to waste. No, of course not. Blackwater said, the price is no problem. I've already negotiated the price for Mr. Xing 1 billion, not a cent less. Xing Pengjing smiled. Well, then you prepare the money first. I'll give you an account number and you give me a mobile phone number. As long as the money is in place, I'll contact you immediately. Blackwater was stunned. Isn't this a little... You don't trust me? Xing Pengjing snorted. Not really. Blackwater said, shouldn't we have an agreement? I'll pay you half first and the other half after the matter is over. Xing Pengjing shook his head. This is not my rule. At this time, when Xiaoping had already written the account number on a piece of paper, Xing Pengjing took it and pushed it to Blackwater. If I don't see the full amount, I won't contact you. After that, Xing Pengjing put a piece of paper on the table and pushed it to Blackwater. Give me the phone number. Blackwater had no choice but to write down the phone number. Thank you for the tea today. Xing Pengjing stood up and said, when this matter is over, I'll invite you to another tasteful place for tea. Blackwater smiled. Then I'll look forward to it, Mr. Xing. After the money is in place, we'll discuss what you want me to do and how to arrange it. Xing Pengjing didn't want to waste any more time. Goodbye. Wan Xiaoping immediately went to open the door and the two left. Blackwater went to see them off. After the two left, he paid the bill for the tea that was worth hundreds of thousands. The matter was settled. Blackwater revealed an evil smile. Su Yun, just you wait. I'll let you have a taste of offending me. Chapter 2785. Blackwater didn't need to talk more about the price of 1 billion. He just needed to tell Zhao Zihu that 1 billion was enough. Although Zhao Zihu was unwilling, he still negotiated with him. Now what he needed to do was to get the money so that he could completely scare Zhao Zihu. Zhao Zihu was deceived by Blackwater and trusted him completely. He didn't hesitate to do as Blackwater said. Zhao family could indeed take out 1 billion, but it was also very painful. No one wanted to cut their own flesh for no reason, right? Even if Zhao family had a net worth of 10 billion, he would still be distressed for a while. Think about it from another perspective. If your family had 1,000 yuan and gave you 100 yuan, you would only have 100 yuan to spend for the whole year. But you had to take out 10 yuan to find someone to settle the matter for you. Wasn't this exaggerated enough? Moreover, 10 yuan was 1/10 of the 100 yuan. Zhao Zihu might not have 10 billion in pocket money. 1 billion was probably his pocket money for a year. Anyway, this matter had to be done. The money had to be given. Zhao Zihu had decided to settle the matter, so he should be willing to pay. 1 billion was transferred to Blackwater's account several times. The rest was up to Blackwater to deal with. He believed that the people of Blood Wolf Gang would be honest. Xing Pangjing was also a generous person. It was impossible for him to fool him. On the second day, Zhao Zihu had already settled all the funds. When Blackwater transferred all the money to the account left by Xing Pangjing, he focused on his mobile phone. The whole afternoon passed, and then the night passed, but there was no news from his mobile phone. Blackwater's mood sank completely. Did he remember the wrong number? Or did he give the wrong account? Or did his mobile phone stop working because he owed the bill? Obviously, these were impossible. These were all reasons that Blackwater found for himself. After all, the day was over and Xing Pangjing didn't contact him. He certainly couldn't bear this pressure. Until the evening, his mobile phone rang. Blackwater picked it up without looking at it. But it was Zhao Zihu's voice on the phone. Is it settled? When are you going to do it? It has been settled. Blackwater said, I have paid the money. Because there is time for bank transfer, he may receive the money tomorrow. Blackwater, how could it be a matter of time? Zhao Zihu said, there are no holidays. This is a normal working day. It's just a transfer of money. There's no need to go through a third party. Don't worry, young Master Zhao. I'll make the necessary arrangements, Blackwater Dao said. Zhao Zihu was a little worried. If he dares to trick me and cheat me of my money, I will definitely not let him off. When Blackwater heard this, he thought to himself, what do you have to not let him off? Even if there were 100 mobs in the world, they might not be able to defeat the entire Blood Wolf Gang. Moreover, once they became enemies with the Blood Wolf Regiment, there was no need for the Zhang family to provoke the Zhao family. Xing Pangjing could send out a dozen experts to wipe out all the people in charge of the Zhao family overnight. Just based on this point, Zhao Zihu did not have the right to say that. Don't worry, it won't happen. Blackwater said, I believe that the Blood Wolf Regiment is not that unscrupulous. If they are not scrupulous, there is no need for them to bargain with us. Zhao Zihu gritted his teeth and said, I hope so. After hanging up the phone, Blackwater kept hypnotizing himself to believe that all this was true and that Xing Pangjing would not trick them. Obviously, thinking about it this way would make one feel better. The night passed like this. Blackwater did not know how he fell asleep in the hotel. When he woke up, the first thing he did was to check his mobile phone. However, there was no missed call or text message. Blackwater's mood fell again. At this moment, his mobile phone rang. It was a strange number from Yanjing. Blackwater took a deep breath. His fingers were trembling when he picked up the phone. Hello? Blackwater, this is Wen Xiaoping. The voice on the other end of the phone sounded, we have received the money. What's your next plan? Tell me. I will arrange it and personally bring people to meet you according to your time and place. Let's not contact each other before that. Blackwater was stunned. What do you mean? Nothing. Wen Xiaoping said, some special departments seem to be keeping an eye on the East City. This is something our Blood Wolf Gang can solve. You don't need to worry. It won't delay your business. Blackwater was enlightened. A department that could keep an eye on the Blood Wolf Gang was really not ordinary. The safest way now was to leave Yanjing immediately. I'll be waiting for you at the Shangri-La Hotel on Qingdao at 8 o'clock tonight. I'll inform you of the room numbers in advance, Blackwater Daoist said. I'll also prepare rooms for the 8 of you. Okay. Wen Xiaoping said, give me the room number 1 hour in advance. I will bring people to your room at 8 o'clock sharp. No problem. Blackwater became spirited after saying that. He wanted to rush back to Qingdao at the fastest speed. He also asked Wen Xiaoping to bring people back to Qingdao at the fastest speed. At least, he could ensure that the 8 experts involved in this matter would not be affected. There is one more thing I need to say. Wen Xiaoping said, originally, we promised to arrange 2 experts in the profound world realm for you. But now there are some special circumstances, so I am the only one who has reached this level. But the other 7 are all experts in the Supreme Power Realm that you want, and they are all top experts in the Supreme Power Realm. Blackwater did not care about these things. It was really enough. No problem at all. You just need to leave now. That's good. See you in Qingdao. Wan Xiaoping hung up the phone directly. Blackwater saved the number, quickly packed up his things, and rushed to the high-speed railway station. If some special department was keeping an eye on the Blood Wolf Gang, he would definitely be in trouble. After all, he had contacted the Blood Wolf Gang in Yanjing. According to the current situation of the Blood Wolf Gang, they would not easily contact anyone. As the only person who had contacted the Blood Wolf Gang, he would obviously become a target. Therefore, Blackwater left in a hurry and even left his car in the hotel in Yanjing. He was very cautious all the way. Only when he got on the business cabin of the high-speed railway did he completely relax. Yanjing was definitely a place of trouble for people like him. He would try not to go there as much as possible. This was the experience that Blackwater had summed up for so many years. This place of trouble was not a place that ordinary people could bear. As for whether Xing Pengjing's Blood Wolf Gang could resist the investigation of the relevant departments, Blackwater did not care. It had nothing to do with him. Now, Blackwater only needed to make sure that the people he needed to help him could leave Yanjing. That was enough. With these people's help, he could even say that he could solve the problem of Su Yun tonight. This battle must be finished quickly, so that Blackwater could have time to leave Huaxia as soon as possible. Killing Su Yun would inevitably cause waves. This guy was not easy to deal with. He was also a person of status. Blackwater was very clear about this. After he did what he needed to do, he threw the trouble to the Blood Wolf Gang. The rest had nothing to do with him. Even if the Blood Wolf Gang was finally provoked by the trouble, the spearhead would only be aimed at the Zhao family. It had nothing to do with him. As long as Blackwater killed Su Yun, the anger in his heart could be completely released. Chapter 2786. As for what was about to happen, Su Yun had no idea at all. Yanjing was so far away from Qingdao. Su Yun obviously didn't know what was going on there. After all, the death of a person like Dongqing Laojiu wouldn't be on the news. It would be covered up immediately. As long as no one from the Dragon Brigade informed Su Yun wouldn't be informed. His acquaintances wouldn't gossip about it with Su Yun. For example, Ma San knew about this matter, but he couldn't be so bored as to call Su Yun and tell him that a big playboy in Yanjing City who loved antiques and literature had been murdered. Unless it was directly related to Su Yun, he wouldn't think of Su Yun. Ma San was really concerned about it after knowing about it. Because Dongqing Laojiu was also an acquaintance of his, and they had done business several times. Of course, Ma San was also interested in who attended the auction that day, because these people represented the top consumers in Yanjing's antique industry. This was very important to Ma San. So Ma San would find a way to get the list. Ma San, who got the list, clearly saw a familiar name on it. Su Yun, chairman of Chanyu Group. He was definitely going to stare. He quickly dialed Su Yun's phone. Su Yun. Before Su Yun could speak, Ma San scolded him, "You're too mean. You didn't take me to such an awesome antique auction. You didn't even tell me that you came to Yanjing. You really don't come to my door for no reason." Hearing Ma San's complaint, Su Yun felt embarrassed. At that time, he also thought of Ma San, but because Cho Yun was there, he didn't do anything. Who knew that Ma San cared so much about this matter? But he was very surprised that Ma San knew that he had been there. He was indeed well informed. Nothing could be hidden from him. It's not that I'm not being nice. I went because I had other things to do. I just took a look and left. Su Yun explained, "There's nothing interesting in there. It's really nothing interesting." Ma San was like a resentful wife. "Stop explaining to me. What do you mean by boring? That Ming Dynasty golden crown is very interesting." Su Yun knew that Ma San was thinking about this. He could only comfort him. You haven't heard yet, but this thing has been abandoned. It's a hat worn by a eunuch, and it's made of gold. It's also unlucky, so no one wants it. Ma Saner said, You're still talking about it. It's because of Dong Chengjiu's mouth that he got himself into so much trouble. Su Yun was stunned. Something happened? Damn, where are you? You haven't heard? Ma Saner said, Come to my shop, I'll wait for you. I went back to Qingdao yesterday. I said that I went there to take a look. I still have other things to do. Su Yun said, I didn't stay for long. I came back the next day. Ma Saner shook his head helplessly. No wonder you didn't hear. You left the next day. You would have heard if you had stayed for half a day. Something big happened. Su Yun realized. Ma Saner nodded. That night, Dong Chengjiu was killed. The 3 masters beside him who looked down on Yanjing were all killed. They all died by his side. Of course, there were other masters. As long as they were in his mansion that day, no one was left. Su Yun took a deep breath. This was obviously done by the owner of the Golden Crown. The Blood Wolf Gang. It must be. Otherwise, who would have the strength to do so? Do you know who did this? Ma Saner said, As far as I know, my guess is definitely right. If I tell you, you'll be scared to death. The Blood Wolf Gang. Su Yun said. Ma Saner was stunned. Damn. How do you know everything? Su Yun was shocked. Of course I know everything. After the auction ended that day, I returned to the brigade. Ma Saner nodded. Then this matter must have involved people from your brigade. What do you mean? Su Yun was a little puzzled. The Blood Wolf Gang took action. Your chief definitely won't let it go. Ma Saner said, I said that there must be a special department involved in the investigation. It's meaningless to rely on the police investigation. Su Yun nodded. Then this matter really can't be ignored easily. Of course. Ma Saner said, This matter must be dealt with. Who asked you to go back so early? If you were here, you would definitely participate. Even if I don't participate, someone will solve it for me, Su Yun said. However, Su Yun also knew that this matter was very important. It was definitely not up to young people like them to deal with it. They couldn't solve this problem. If you can participate, maybe I can also see the Golden Crown. Ma Saner said, If you don't participate, I have no chance at all. Su Yun was speechless. Are you so interested in the eunuch's things? Ma Saner said, Of course, I'm interested. That Golden Crown is not simple. What's not simple? Su Yun said, It's just a golden crown. It's more than 1,000 grams. Finding someone to make a crown for you won't cost 300,000 yuan, right? Are you kidding me? How can it be the same? Ma Saner said, You just don't understand. Sigh, what a waste. Let me tell you, I won't easily tell others about this. There's a secret on this golden crown. Su Yun grinned and said disdainfully, What secret? The secret of this golden crown is that its first owner was castrated by the emperor, right? Can you be more serious? Ma Saner rolled his eyes and said, The golden lines on this golden crown are a map. It was designed by the Ming Chengzu and buried with a lot of treasures. He put this map on the golden crown and gave it to the #1 expert of the great Ming dynasty, who was also the #1 expert of the East faction. This way, there would be no danger. Su Yun opened his mouth wide in surprise. Damn, who did you hear that from? Let me tell you, fairy tales are all lies, Su Yun said. Ma Saner clicked his tongue and said, Fairy tales are deceiving, but I'm not deceiving. If I lie, I'm a dog. Su Yun shook his head. Don't give me that. Go ahead and make it up. I just didn't let you see the golden crown, and you made it sound so incredible. You. Forget it, it's fine if you don't believe me. Ma Saner shook his head. Su Yun smiled. If what you said is true, then all the more I shouldn't let you see it. If you knew the map, would you take action?
Ma San'er spat. Am I that kind of person?
Yes, Su Yun said.
Ma San'er was speechless.
Fine, at least you know me well. Let me tell you, don't even think about the golden crown. Su Yun said, when this matter is settled and the golden crown is in our hands, I will report what you told me to the higher-ups. Ma San'er didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Then, the archaeological team will benefit from it. If you want it, I will help you apply for it and let the bureau chief arrange for you to join the archaeological team.
Su Yun said, how is it? Am I being generous enough?
Ma San'er's eyes lit up again.
You're a good brother. A loyal friend.
But you have to promise me that you won't steal anything. Otherwise, if I find out, I will definitely find trouble with you, Su Yun warned. What kind of person do you think I am? If you say that again, I will be angry.
Ma San'er glared at him.
Fine, fine, fine.
You're a good person, a good bird.
Su Yun laughed.
Ma San'er snorted. Fine, go about your business.
I won't talk nonsense with you anymore.
Bye.
Chapter 2787. When Ma San'er told Su Yun these things, Su Yun was quite relaxed. But when Ma San'er hung up the phone, his heart began to beat like a drum.
The Blood Wolf Regiment was really ruthless. They killed the 9th Master of Dongqing without saying a word. Tut, tut, these people were really crazy.
They really couldn't be easily offended. A single sentence from the Golden Crown could trigger a bloodbath in Yanjing City. Not everyone could live in Yanjing City.
There were hidden dragons and crouching tigers. No matter how high one's status was, one couldn't talk nonsense.
Master Zhou was probably regretting it now.
Unfortunately, there was no medicine for regret in the world.
He could only play chess with the King of Hell in the underground.
However, Su Yun was completely unaware that the people he was glad he didn't provoke had already targeted him. At this moment, Wen Xiaoping was already on the road.
First, he wanted to meet Blackwater in time at night. Second, he wanted to avoid the limelight in Yanjing.
Although Master Zhou's matter was dealt with cleanly, there would be some clues that ordinary people wouldn't notice. They would be discovered by some unusual people. These were unpredictable things, so they really needed to act as soon as possible.
Xing Pangjing also said that he only needed to deal with Blackwater's matter beautifully.
After all, he had received money. The Blood Wolf Regiment still had to pay attention to this point of integrity. As for other things, he would naturally deal with them. Wen Xiaoping didn't want to disturb Xing Pangjing to deal with things according to his own ideas, so he went on the road early. After the car drove on the highway, his heart instantly relaxed a lot. Although driving to Qingdao was slow and tiring, he didn't dare to take people by plane or high-speed rail. There was no autonomy and it was easy to be controlled. Xing Pangjing asked them to do everything according to the principle of being careful and deal with things. The Blood Wolf Regiment hadn't come out to do things for a long time. This was also a very strange thing for them. Now things were different from before, but they still relied on their own strength and confidence. They believed that they could easily solve problems and troubles.
They didn't talk all the way.
Wen Xiaoping knew that the brothers who came out with him were suppressing the anger in their hearts. After all, the Blood Wolf Regiment had put down their pride to do this, which made them lose some face.
However, this matter was arranged by Tu Cheng, so they had no choice but to do it.
No one would have thought that the Blood Wolf group would do such a thing for money. What was the difference between them and those ordinary mercenary groups? Lamentable, truly lamentable.
Wen Xiaoping was open-minded. He had long been clear about the situation of the Blood Wolf group. He also knew the consequences of not making money.
Therefore, he treated this matter very calmly and did not treat it as a shameful matter at all.
It was nothing more than going to the Guqin Island to kill a few people. After that, he would leave quickly and quietly.
Everything would be over very quickly.
The car drove all the way to Qingdao.
When Wen Xiaoping's SUV drove out of the highway, Blackwater's message arrived. The hotel room number was sent over, and they went there to meet.
Blackwater came to Qingdao early and arranged a hotel and a banquet. Although the other party was a member of the Blood Wolf gang, it was not suitable for him to work immediately. Let's take a break first and make a detailed plan. Only then can we ensure our safety and victory. At 7:15 in the evening, when Xiaoping brought his people to the hotel, the 8 people got out of the car, and their auras were obviously different. Even ordinary people could feel that these people were not ordinary. Looking at the domineering aura between their eyebrows and the imposing manner of their bodies, it was enough to make people retreat. When Xiaoping dialed Blackwater's number, and the two quickly met. After seeing the 8 people, Blackwater was obviously very satisfied, but he did not show this satisfaction. He calmly asked them to sit down. Wan Xiaoping was obviously the most powerful person among these people. Blackwater felt that this person's strength should be about the same as his. The others were all top masters of the Grandmaster realm. It was more than enough to deal with the small fries around Su Yun. Except for Lin Gu, who might be able to struggle a few times, Su Yun's people were no match for these people at all. As for Jie Su, Blackwater suspected that this guy was already dead, or maybe he was playing chess with the King of Hell. Very good, very good. They are all masters of our Blood Wolf gang, when Xiaoping introduced. He was Thousand Slash, which Blackwater already knew. Meng Duan, Yi Hui, Ling Cheng, Ken Mie, 3000, Absolute Song, Scorching Sunday. These 7 people, if thrown into the underground world, would be able to hold their own. They were all stronger than Wang Yi of the Dragon Brigade. One could imagine how powerful they were. Obviously, Bai Xiaoye and Zhua Meiyan could not be compared to these 7 people. Meng Duan was very thin and gave people the impression that he was very quiet. Yi Hui seemed to be weather-beaten. Ling Qing was calm and gentle. Can Xie was elegant. 3000 Faces was cold and dignified. Zhu Gu was imposing. Zhuo Ri was a handsome man. Each of them had their own characteristics, and they were the Blood Wolf 7 invincible. In fact, even when Xiaoping was a little surprised that Xing Pangjing would assign the 7 invincible to him to handle this matter. Of course, it was when Xiaoping who led the Blood Wolf 7 invincible to kill old Zhou and the 3 masters around him. "I'm Blackwater," Blackwater said. "I'm very happy to meet you. We'll be friends in the future. If there's anything you need from me, feel free to ask." If it were not for Blackwater's strength that surprised the 7 of them, they would not have bothered with him. After all, they were not willing to do this. The feeling of being hired was really unpleasant. It made them feel like they were goods that would be chosen. "Nice to meet you, Meng Duan," as the representative, replied Blackwater. They really did not need Blackwater's help. Although Blackwater was strong, if the 7 invincible worked together, they could still kill him instantly. It was like a pay-to-win player in an online game. The 7 of them were all players with level 8 gems, while Blackwater was a player with level 9 gems. There was no chance of winning in a 1-on-1 battle, and there was also no chance of winning in a 2-on-1 battle. However, in a 7-on-1 battle, 7 players with level 8 gems could definitely kill a player with level 9 gems. "I've already arranged rooms for you. Let's go eat now. You can all have a good rest today," Blackwater said. "Then when are we going to start?" When Xiaoping asked. The Blood Wolf gang was very efficient, and they were very efficient. Blackwater said, "There's no hurry. I'll go check it out tomorrow. If we want to make a move, we'll have to wait until tomorrow night." Wan Xiaoping frowned. "Then why did you ask us to come so early?" "I'm thinking for you. Rest well first, then I'll do it." Blackwater smiled. Wan Xiaoping snorted. "Forget it. This ride was indeed quite unpleasant. If you need any other special services at night, feel free to ask," Blackwater said. "I'll arrange it for you." "That won't be necessary." Wan Xiaoping's expression did not look good. Blackwater was stunned. How could a man not like this? He was a little surprised. "It's okay. There's no need to be polite between us." Blackwater put down the polite words. "No need." When Xiaoping rejected again. Chapter 2788. Blackwater scolded in his heart that he was not a man, but soon he realized that not only Wen Xiaoping was serious about this matter, but also the other 7 people. All of them looked sullen and didn't say a word. It seemed that they were disgusted by Blackwater's kindness. This made Blackwater feel uncomfortable for a while. Could it be that these guys were all gay? Not a single straight man? Since you're not interested, then forget it. Blackwater smiled. Then let's have dinner together and have a rest. Wen Xiaoping and the others' faces turned better, but they had no intention of being friends with Blackwater. Their faces were very ugly. As for the reason, Blackwater really didn't know and couldn't figure it out at all. But no matter what, since these guys were already here, they had to listen to his arrangements. It was better not to need those special services. Blackwater could save a lot of money. But these people's indifference really let down the Qin Island girls that he spent so much energy to find this afternoon. What a pity. Since no one enjoyed it, he could only let them have it. Wen Xiaoping and the others were not in the mood to enjoy life, and Blackwater was not in the mood to play. After all, there were a lot of things waiting for him to do tomorrow. After dinner, Su Yun was thinking about the call that Ma San'er gave him today. After thinking for a long time, he felt that he should really know the people of the Blood Wolf Gang, especially the current generation of the Blood Wolf Gang. He wanted to know what the situation was. And now, Ma San'er should be one of the people who knew something about the situation. So Su Yun dialed Ma San'er's number. Ma San'er was surprised after receiving the call. What's the situation? Why don't you tell me about this Blood Wolf regiment? Su Yun said, anyway, you know a thing or two about everything. Ma San'er was stunned. Why did you provoke the Blood Wolf Gang? Don't you know that their people are all perverts? What are you talking about? The people of the Blood Wolf regiment are also people. How can they become perverts in your mouth? Su Yun said, quickly tell me, what's the situation with the Blood Wolf regiment? There's nothing going on. Even if there is, don't provoke them, Ma San'er said. I didn't say that I was provoking him. I was just curious, Su Yun asked. Ma San'er said impatiently, since you don't want to provoke them, then why are you so curious? Don't ask, I'm not going to tell you. Ma San'er, you're excited, aren't you? You want me to go to Pan Garden and interrogate you, right? Su Yun, you feel bad if I don't smash 2 vases from the Qing dynasty, right? I really have to hand it to you. Ma San'er was speechless. What do you want to know? What's the strength of the Blood Wolf regiment now? Su Yun asked, I'm really curious. Ma San'er said, the current Tu Cheng of the Blood Wolf regiment is called Xing Pangjing. He's a very sinister and cruel person. There are many experts under him. Well, you already know what you're curious about. Do you think I'm a 3-year-old kid? Su Yun stared and said, hurry up and tell me what's going on. The Blood Wolf regiment has 2 very powerful people. One is called Wen Xiaoping, and the other is called Ash White. These 2 people are Xing Pengjing's right-hand men. Ma San'er said, they are also the 1,000 slashes of the Blood Wolf regiment. Su Yun pursed his lips. So powerful. Of course. Ma San'er said, the Blood Wolf regiment can't just take out these 3 people. The Blood Wolf regiment has 5 crazy, 7 unique, and 9 Qilin. They are all very powerful people. Su Yun was stunned. What are 5 crazy, 7 unique, and 9 Qilin? Ma San'er said, there are very few people who know these now. Don't keep me in suspense. Su Yun said, why are you still talking so much nonsense with me? Okay, I won't talk nonsense with you. I'll tell you directly. Ma San'er said, the 5 crazy are Zhetian, Quan Xiong, Chuang Gu, Tian Fu, and Yen Yu. Those who are stronger than these 5 are the 7 unique. The 7 unique are Meng Duan, Yi Hui, Ling Cheng, Ken Mie, 3000, Absolute Song, and Zhuori. These 7 people. Su Yun was hearing stars in his ears. How can you remember so many names? What are they? Ma San'er didn't stop. Then there are the 9 Qilin who are second only to 1,000 slashes. They are Ziyun, Shui Yan, Companion Xing, Dao Xiao, Wan Tun, Yun Sei, Di Jie, Tao Zun, Rui Ku. These 9 people are very powerful. Su Yun said, Okay. Don't tell me so many names. I can't remember them all. Let me put it this way. Ma Saner said, the weakest one is Yen Yu of the 5 Crazy. Even for him, I think he's only slightly weaker than your master, Wang Yi. Su Yun was stunned. If he said that, then the others were all stronger than Wang Yi? You must be kidding. Su Yun really couldn't tolerate this. Stop bragging. Su Yun said, are the 7 unique and the 9 Qilin so powerful? They're really not simple. Ma Saner said, the current 2 Cheng, Xing Peng Jing, is even more powerful. If you ask me to name someone who can defeat him, there aren't many names that come to mind. Su Yun was stunned. Who are they? Your stepmother, or the 5 war gods around her? Ma Saner said, then there's your senior chief Wan. If you joke like this, it's boring. Su Yun said, are you trying to scare me? I'm telling the truth. Ma Saner said, believe it or not, but their strength is really like this. Su Yun thought for a while. Some things were true. After all, it was the Blood Wolf Gang. So now the Blood Wolf Gang is full of masters of the Grandmaster realm? Su Yun said, another 5, another 7, another 9. What's there to slay? There are still quite a few of them. That's for sure. Ma Saner added, it's 1,000 slashes. If you don't know, don't talk nonsense. Be careful not to embarrass yourself when you go out. Su Yun nodded. Okay, I won't talk about it. I wonder, why are you asking these questions? Ma Saner said. I'm just curious. Su Yun said, haven't you heard that curiosity killed the cat? I'm very curious now. Ma Saner rolled his eyes. Anyway, Su Yun couldn't see it. Do you want to be the cat that was killed? Do you know how to chat? Su Yun stared. Isn't that what you mean? Ma Saner said, I'm telling you, you'd better not get involved in the Blood Wolf Gang. If you really get into trouble, I can't help you. Su Yun was speechless. You're talking as if you helped me before. Hey, I'm telling you these things now to help you. Ma Saner said, are you still not satisfied? Okay, I'm satisfied. You're amazing. Su Yun said, I finally need your help. Look at how proud you are. I can't help it. Who asked you to use me? Ma Saner said triumphantly. Su Yun still had one more thing that he was curious about. The people in the Blood Wolf Gang are so powerful. Were they extraordinary when they joined, or did they have other abilities that made them advance by leaps and bounds after joining the Blood Wolf Gang? Ma Saner said, I'm afraid that they became stronger after joining the Blood Wolf Gang to practice some martial arts. Su Yun was stunned. Have you heard of a martial arts secret book called the Evil Warding Scripture? Ma Saner said. Su Yun was stunned. Are you talking about the New Year picture of the door god? Ma Saner was almost speechless. Isn't this too much nonsense? What does it have to do with the door god? I'm talking about the forbidden martial arts method. Su Yun suddenly realized. You're talking about that thing. If you want to practice this martial arts, you have to castrate yourself first? Yes. Ma Saner nodded. So, the people in the Blood Wolf Gang are not straight men. They are all bent. F***ck. Su Yun cursed. He had goosebumps. Ma Saner's gloomy tone was really unbearable. Chapter 2789. Su Yun scolded, What's the use of talking nonsense with me? I don't want to know about them. You are the one who asked why they are so powerful. Ma Saner said, What I said is also true. They practice the evil warding scripture. Although after so many years of improvement, they no longer need to castrate themselves like in ancient times, but they are still affected.
Su Yun's scalp was numb. He really didn't know what these people were thinking. The capital of being a man was destroyed. How could they still be masters? Their kung fu is feminine, and their weakness is hidden in the place where they have lost their ability. Ma San'er said, "Not many people have heard of this."
Su Yun couldn't help but sigh.
This was not simple.
They were a group of gay men. No one would treat their crotch as a vital point. They were already crippled. No one would want to use the trick of kicking their crotch, right? But who would have thought that this trick could hit their vital point?
It could even kill them in one blow, no matter what level of master they were. Who would take out their vital point to talk nonsense?
Su Yun said, "How do you know?" "I have seen the evil warding scripture,"
Ma San'er said.
Su Yun took a breath of cold air. "Are you okay?
Look at that thing."
"Do you still have the ability now? Even if you want to practice, you should wait until you have a child, right?"
"Go away. I am not a martial arts maniac like you who can't move after seeing the secret scripture."
Ma San'er said disdainfully, "Even if I don't castrate myself and leave my vital point, I won't practice it. I have so much business to deal with every day. Who has the time to practice martial arts?"
There was only one word: lazy. However, only a lazy person could resist this kind of secret scripture. Those who were too lazy to practice would definitely not be harmed by this evil warding scripture. According to what you said, no one in the Blood Wolf gang is perfect, so they must have some mental abnormalities.
Su Yun said. "I don't know, but I'm sure they hate women," Ma San'er said. Su Yun disagreed. "What does it have to do with women if they can't do it themselves?"
"I think the problem in their hearts is jealousy. Jealous of other men."
"You're right, but I'm sure they also hate women," Ma San'er said. "Just because they can't, it doesn't mean they don't want to.
Wanting but not being able to, that's the most torturous thing."
Su Yun gave a thumbs up in his heart.
That was really the case.
He wanted to, but he still couldn't.
This was the most difficult thing to endure.
If he didn't want to, then so be it.
But they were all men. How could they not think about it just because they said so?
That's why you must not provoke the abnormalities of the Blood Wolf gang.
If you provoke them, it will be troublesome.
Ma San'er warned Su Yun again.
"Don't you listen to me."
Su Yun smiled. "Do you really think I have nothing better to do? Why would I provoke the Blood Wolf gang?" "Okay, as long as you know not to provoke them."
Ma San'er said, "What else do you want to ask?"
"I don't need to tell you about the ancestors of the Blood Wolf gang, right?" "I'm not interested in dead people," Su Yun said.
Ma San'er glared. "You'd better not be interested in these living people. What 5 madness, 7 absolutes, 9 Qilin, these are not people you can provoke."
"Got it."
Su Yun nodded. "What I said is true.
It's all for your own good. Don't think I'm scaring you."
Ma San'er said, "You're really smart."
"Do I like to cause trouble as much as you said?" Su Yun said.
Ma San'er sighed. "AI, who knows?
Sometimes you don't want to cause trouble, but trouble will provoke you.
Can you not talk with your crow's mouth?"
Su Yun glared.
"If I really get into trouble with the Blood Wolf gang, it's also thanks to your mouth." "Go, go, go, who has a crow's mouth? Who are you talking about?"
Ma San'er said, "My words are like gold."
"Bah."
Su Yun,
"Okay, stop bragging.
Can't we have a good chat?"
"I should ask you this."
Ma San'er said angrily, "Tell me what's going on."
"Why are you asking about this?"
"I'm just curious."
Su Yun said, "Don't tell me you're not curious." An organization that has been abiding by the rules for decades has suddenly emerged.
Ma San'er smiled.
"It's too easy to explain. A cornered dog will jump over a wall, and a rabbit will bite when cornered. They have no money."
"Then tell me, if someone is willing to pay now, will they dare to do anything?" Su Yun said.
Ma San'er thought for a while and nodded.
"That's hard to say."
Ma San'er was stunned for a moment.
He asked, "Why are you asking this?"
"Nothing."
Su Yun, "I'm just wondering how much money they will go abroad."
"Is your brain rusty?" Ma San'er said, "The ancestors of the Blood Wolf Gang don't allow them to leave Huaxia. If they leave Huaxia, they are no longer members of the Blood Wolf Gang." Sigh, I was thinking of giving them a price and letting them go to Japan to settle some things. Su Yun shook his head. Ma San'er was speechless. Can you stop bragging? Why do you want them to go to Japan? To kill the right wing? Isn't that good? Su Yun, everyone takes what they need. Get rid of evil for the people and make an indelible contribution to world peace. I'll give you the word, he. Ma San'er said, "Don't do these useless things." Okay, I won't talk to you anymore. Do what you need to do. Su Yun. Ma San'er said, "What do I have to do in the middle of the night? I'll explain things to you clearly. Don't get into trouble. Is it clear enough now?" Okay. It's clear enough. Su Yun nodded. Don't worry. Let me tell you, even if you want to deal with the Blood Wolf Gang, your chief will definitely step in personally. What you need to do is to obediently stay in Qingdao and be a romantic CEO. Ma San'er said. I'm good at this. Su Yun, bye-bye. Wait a minute, I haven't finished. Ma San'er was stunned. The phone was already beeping. F***CK. It's for your own good. You hung up quite quickly. Ma San'er's mind was in a mess. He really didn't know if Su Yun was going to cause trouble. Ma San'er really understood Su Yun's character very well. If Su Yun didn't ask about this, Ma San'er really wouldn't be worried. Once he asked, it made him feel uncomfortable. However, this time, Su Yun really didn't have the intention to cause trouble. The Blood Wolf Gang's attack on Dongcheng Jiuyi happened in Yanjing City. He didn't need to worry about this matter. The chief could deal with them with a word. It didn't matter how powerful the Blood Wolf Gang was. It didn't matter if they were 5 crazy or 7 unique. It didn't matter if they were 9 Qilin or 1,000/. As long as they caused Yanjing to be restless, it would be a matter of minutes to deal with them. The Blood Wolf Gang was really too much. They just stayed in Yanjing City. Everyone was safe and sound. No one provoked anyone. This peaceful era wasn't the feudal society of the past. At that time, even if you killed people like flies, as long as you were powerful, no one dared to provoke you. But it was different now. No matter who you were, if you committed a crime, you must be punished. There was a good saying, if the emperor committed a crime, he would be punished the same as the commoners. Now, even those big tigers of the past were beaten to death. There were many people who were beaten to death with their tails between their legs. No matter how powerful the Blood Wolf Gang was, it was just a small group of people. In the eyes of the country, everyone was very small. Chapter 2790. The Blood Wolf Gang was not a simple organization. Even Wan Guangxiao felt a headache coming on. Especially after Wan Guangxiao had a general understanding of the Blood Wolf group, he had no choice but to be even more cautious. The members of the Blood Wolf Gang were all first-class masters. He could not act rashly to deal with them. The 5 crazy in the Blood Wolf Gang was led by Zhetian. This Zhetian was the guy who turned Southeast Asia upside down 20 years ago. Wan Guangxiao had heard about him and heard that this guy's strength was not ordinary. It had been 20 years, and the Blood Wolf Gang was rumored to have a secret book that could increase one's strength. Now this guy was probably even stronger. As for Quan Xiong, Wan Guangxiao was even more clear. Once in the deep mountains of Northeast Asia, he made more than 50 local special police unable to do anything to him. Later, the local police applied for a special team, but this person disappeared without a sign. Unexpectedly, he also joined the Blood Wolf Gang. As for Chuang Gu and Tian Fu, they were the twin devils of Southwest Asia. Their reputation had long been prominent in the underground world. Wan Guangxiao could not understand why they joined the Blood Wolf Gang. As for the person called Yen Yu, Wan Guangxiao had never heard of him. Perhaps he was a newcomer in the underground world, or perhaps he was trained by the Blood Wolf Gang since childhood.
Just the investigation of these 5 people was enough to give Wan Guangxiao a headache. Except for Yan Yu, he could basically be sure that the strength of the other 4 people was above Wang Yi. This meant that it was impossible for the young people of this generation of the Divine Dragon Brigade to take on this dangerous mission. The mission was completely beyond their capabilities. This was only in addition to the 5 crazy. There was the 7 invincible who were a level higher than the 5 crazy. However, this time there was no movement at all from the 7 invincible. There was no trace of the 7 invincible in the entire Yanjing city. More importantly, the incident of old Jiu of Dongqing was obviously done by the 7 invincible. The 3 masters around old Jiu of Dongqing died tragically and were beheaded. This was done by Meng Duan and Zhuo Ri of the 7 invincible. 2 cruel guys. Among the 7 invincible, there were 3 other people who were even more brutal. They were Yi Hui, Ling Qing, and Wu Xie. The only ones who weren't so cruel were probably 3000 and Absolute Song. However, the 2 of them were the same. They didn't like to leave people with whole corpses. Therefore, there was no one in the 7 absolutes who didn't make people's hair stand on end. To fight with these people, one must be ruthless and merciless. There must be no mercy. Any mercy would give them a chance to kill. Wan Guangxiao frowned. It seemed like it was impossible to train the newcomers this time. Speaking of which, this opportunity was really a pity. This was obviously a very good opportunity to train young people, but it was a pity. Wan Guangxiao didn't dare to take the risk. He didn't dare to let the younger generation of his subordinates experience it. If they weren't careful, they might suffer heavy casualties. If that happened, not only would he not be able to explain to the country, he wouldn't be able to face Su Yun either. Forget it, forget it. Wan Guangxiao didn't dare to take on such a huge risk. As for the 9 Qilins from the Blood Wolf gang, who had been feared since ancient times, they were even more difficult to deal with. They could be said to be the second best in the world of martial arts. Their strength was definitely not below the 2000 slayers from the Blood Wolf gang, Hui Bai and Wan Xioping. They were both experts at the Profound World Realm. Among the 9 Qilins, Shui Yan, Companion Xing, Dao Xiao, and Wan Tun were all experts at the Profound World Realm. Their strength wasn't that simple. Even Yun Sei, Di Jie, Tao Zun, and Rui Ku, who Wan Guangxiao thought might be weaker, might not have reached the Profound World Realm. Even if they hadn't, they were at the critical juncture between the 9th level of the Grandmaster Realm and the Profound World Realm. With such a group of people, even Wan Guangxiao would feel a headache just thinking about it. He wasn't like the Empress Zhua Langyue, who had the 5 war gods by her side. If his Dragon Brigade wanted to take out a bargaining chip to crush the Blood Wolf gang, he would have to take out his trump card. However, just as Wan Guangxiao was having a headache over this matter, there was a new development in the investigation. The 7 invincible of the Blood Wolf gang had actually left Yanjing and gone to Guqin Island. Guqin Island. This place was a sensitive place for the entire Dragon Brigade. Su Yun was on Guqin Island. This guy wouldn't have any conflicts with the Blood Wolf gang, right? One had to know that Su Yun had also participated in the auction, just like old Jiu of Dongcheng. Now that old Jiu of Dongcheng had died because he had said something unpleasant, Su Yun, this little bastard, didn't keep his mouth shut. Wan Guangxiao's heart was suddenly in suspense. If Su Yun was like old Jiu of Dongcheng and said something derogatory about the Golden Crown, the 7 invincible of the Blood Wolf gang might really be after him. If that was the case, Su Yun would really be in danger. Just Meng Duan, the head of the 7 invincible, was probably enough to make Su Yun suffer. If the other 6 people were added, Su Yun and everyone around him would probably suffer a calamity. At this moment, Wan Guangxiao broke out in a cold sweat. The following news made him even more surprised. In addition to the 7 invincible, Wan Xioping, one of the 2000 slayers of the Blood Wolf gang, had also gone to Guqin Island with the 7 invincible. Wan Guangxiao gasped. He didn't dare to think too much and immediately dialed Su Yun's number. Su Yun had just hung up on Ma San'er not long ago. When he received a call from Wan Guangxiao, Su Yun was really excited. Because the bureau chief must be keeping an eye on the Blood Wolf gang. If he was summoned at this time, it must be something exciting. Bureau chief. What is it? Su Yun was quite energetic. Did you say anything wrong at the auction? Wan Guangxiao didn't say anything else and went straight to the point. During the Golden Crown auction, other than old Zhou's nonsense, did you say anything that you shouldn't have said? Su Yun was stunned. He could hear the nervousness in Wan Guangxiao's voice. No. Su Yun, I didn't say anything. Wan Guangxiao was very serious. Now you have to tell me the truth. Are you sure you didn't say anything derogatory about the Golden Crown? Su Yun roughly understood. No, I really didn't, Bureau Chief. I didn't say anything at that time. Don't worry about me. I didn't offend the Blood Wolf gang. Wan Guangxiao's heart calmed down a little. You better tell me the truth. Let me tell you, according to the current investigation, 8 masters of the Blood Wolf gang left Yanjing and came to Qingdao. He's almost right behind you. Su Yun's eyes widened. Really? Why did they come back with me? If you are talking nonsense, I can be sure that they followed you. Wan Guangxiao said, but you said you didn't say anything. They shouldn't have provoked you. Su Yun said affirmatively, I really didn't say anything. It's good that you didn't say anything. Wan Guangxiao said, I don't want you to get into trouble. Bureau Chief, since you have been involved in the investigation of the Blood Wolf gang, can I participate in the mission? Su Yun asked. What mission are you participating in? Wan Guangxiao was stunned. Su Yun said, of course it's the mission of the Blood Wolf gang. Now you said that 8 people came to Qingdao. Let me deal with these 8 people. Su Yun, you are not a newborn calf. Do you know the strength of these 8 people? Wan Guangxiao said very seriously, the powerful people are definitely stronger than you, and the weakest one is stronger than your master, Wang Yi. Su Yun took a breath of cold air. The configuration of the Blood Wolf gang was really high. I warn you, don't act rashly. Wan Guangxiao said, if I need you, I will naturally come to you. Understood. Su Yun nodded and replied seriously, I promise to obey your orders. Chapter 2791. Since Su Yun said that he would obey the order, he would not cause trouble for himself. But he could not guarantee that the trouble would not provoke him. Sometimes, the trouble that you don't want to provoke may always want to provoke you. Now Su Yun was like this. The 8 people of the Blood Wolf gang came to Guqin Island for him. Even if he didn't say anything to belittle the Golden Crown at the auction that day, the trouble still came to him. And Su Yun was found by the trouble, which could be blamed on Dongqing Laojiu. It was because of the butterfly effect of his words. If Dongqing Laojiu hadn't said that it was worn by eunuchs, the Golden Crown might have been sold. Once the Golden Crown was sold, Xing Pangjing of the Blood Wolf gang would have money. When he had money, he was the most powerful man in the world. When Black Water came to him and paid him to do things, he would not even look at it. Xing Pangjing was that kind of person, so he was the butcher of the Blood Wolf gang. Danger would appear at any time, but Su Yun could not feel it for the time being. Knowing that 8 masters of the Blood Wolf gang appeared in Guqin Island, Su Yun felt a little nervous more or less. He didn't know why, but he was nervous for no reason. After all, powerful people always made people feel awe. Su Yun hadn't heard the tension in Wan Guangxiao's voice for a long time. The chief was very serious this time, which showed that things were very tense. Although Su Yun didn't know how things had developed, from the looks of it now, it was probably quite troublesome. If Su Yun could help in any way, he would definitely do it. The most helpless thing was that he couldn't help at all, which was the most troublesome thing. Su Yun didn't sleep well at night, and he was more or less anxious. Everyone could see that the people in the company didn't dare to talk to Su Yun easily. Su Yun was usually an amiable boss. Once the employees stayed away from him, it proved that Su Yun's mood was indeed not very good. Brother, if you run into any trouble, you can tell me. Lin Guo was probably the only one who still dared to lean on Su Yun. Su Yun shook his head. Nothing. You don't seem to be in the right mood today. Lin Guo had been staying at his own house for the past few days. He had Feng Ye with him. Therefore, he did not know that Su Yun had received a call last night. I'm really fine. Su Yun. I'm just in a bad mood. It's nothing. Of course, Lin Guo wouldn't believe it. You can lie to others, but you can't lie to me. There must be something. Otherwise, you wouldn't be so worried. Don't guess. Su Yun knew that if he didn't tell Lin Guo, he would definitely not give up. I'll tell you. Go and get me a cup of coffee. Lin Guo immediately did as he was told. Su Yun sat down and told Lin Guo about his trip to the Yanjing auction and what had happened now. Lin Ji's eyes almost popped out. The Blood Wolf Regiment, this organization had been missing for many years. At least Lin Guo had been born for more than 20 years, and he had never heard of anything about the Blood Wolf gang. This time, it really felt like a corpse. No wonder Su Yun was so emotionless. Brother, is your leader sure you won't be involved in this matter? Lin Guo said carefully. Su Yun nodded and said helplessly, Do you also think it's a pity? Lin Guo shook his head like a rattledrum. I really don't think it's a pity at all. I think it's quite good. I'm really afraid that your leader will ask you to deal with this matter again. It's too dangerous. Su Yun glanced at Lin Guo. This guy. It's useless to glare at me. I'm telling the truth. Lin Guo said, Brother, the matter of the Jiang family this time has just calmed down. Didn't you see that Sister Qing Shuang spent those days with her heart in her throat? Su Yun said, Do you feel that you've grown up and learned to educate me? I'm not educating you. I just feel that I need to remind you. Lin Guo said, Sister Qing Shuang is so tired. I know. Su Yun said, That can't be helped. And this time, I really won't be involved. The leader won't let me. Lin Guo smiled and said, At least Leader Wan knows what he's doing. I really shouldn't ask you for this kind of thing in the future. Aren't you afraid of getting beaten up for saying this? Su Yun didn't know whether to laugh or cry. There's no one from your army here. Lin Guo said, No one will hear me even if I say it. Haha, Leader Wan is just a little ignorant. I didn't say anything wrong. I'm from the army, Su Yun said. Lin Guo stuck out his tongue and stopped talking. Brother, you don't have to be upset. Lin Guo said, Think about it. Your Dragon Brigade has so many hidden experts. No matter how powerful the other party is, it's just an organization. This organization is amazing, Su Yun said. 5 crazy, 7 invincible, 9 Qilin. These people are too abnormal. Lin Guo also learned from Su Yun that these people weren't straight. He said sarcastically, They are indeed abnormal. No matter what, since it's 1,000/ who brought people from 7 invincible to Guqin Island, we should be more vigilant. Su Yun said, If there's anything you need me to do, I'll still do it. When the time comes, stay away. Lin Guo was unhappy when he heard that. Brother, are you saying that I, Lin Guo, am a cowardly piece of trash? That's not what I'm saying. Su Yun said, I'm saying that if something happens, don't blindly join in with me. As long as this matter implicates you, I'll definitely stand with you. Lin Guo said, That's not negotiable. Not negotiable my ass. No one in the entire Blood Wolf Brigade is weaker than you. Su Yun said, What right do you have to join in this matter? I don't have the right, and I can't let you take the risk by yourself, Lin Guo said. Su Yun waved his hand. Forget it, let's not talk about it. I definitely won't get involved in this matter. For you and those troublemakers, I won't provoke the Blood Wolf Brigade either. Then I'll be like you and know my place. Lin Guo changed really quickly. I really don't know why they came to Guqin Island. Su Yun said, It can't be that they're here to play with me, right? Lin Guo grabbed Su Yun's hand and told him to touch the wood. Don't say any more, brother. If you're right,
we'll be in trouble. If they really dare to come to me, I'm really not afraid of them, Su-yun said. You're not afraid. I'm not afraid either, Ling-gu said, but we really can't do that kind of stupid thing. Su-yun laughed, and his mood seemed to be a lot better. Yes, if one person is full and the whole family is not hungry, then it doesn't matter. Don't think about those things. There's so much work to deal with. Why should we be distracted by these people? Ling-gu said, maybe they're traveling. People from a small place have never seen the sea, so they came out to have a look. This made Ling-gu say that the Blood Wolf Brigade's people were like ignorant country bumpkins. There was a sea in Yenjing City, a ho-hai. Although it wasn't a magnificent real sea, it was at least called a sea. Who hadn't seen it before? Chapter 2792. The Blood Wolf Gang had kept a low profile ever since they came to the Guqin Island. They did not leave the hotel at all. Wen Xiaoping was not as high profile as Xing Pengjing. Before Blackwater gave a detailed plan, Wen Xiaoping asked the other 7 people to stay in the hotel room quietly. Without his permission, no one was allowed to leave. Although none of the 7 invincible masters had a good temper, no one dared to disobey Wen Xiaoping's orders. In their eyes, Wen Xiaoping's words were more effective than grayish whites. The next day, Blackwater did not appear in front of them for the entire day. This made them a little impatient. Seeing that dusk was approaching, Meng Duan could not hold back and said to Wen Xiaoping, "What is this guy trying to do? He has already ignored us for a day. This is not something to be anxious about." Wen Xiaoping was open-minded. "Don't worry too much. It's just a bunch of motley crew. Do we need to consider so much before taking action?" Meng Duan asked. Wen Xiaoping shook his head. "I really don't think the opponent is a bunch of motley crew." But Blackwater said that there is only one person who is strong. The others are not strong at all. Meng Duan said, "Do you think he dares to lie to us?" "He won't go so far as to lie to us." Wen Xiaoping said, "I just feel that if the other party is really a small fish like he said, then the servants of his large clan would be able to deal with them easily. Why would he take such a huge risk to offend us?" Meng Duan was stunned. If this was the case, he suddenly felt a little uncertain. "Do we really need to consider so much?" Ling Qing frowned. "I don't want to think so much." Meng Duan looked at him. "Even if we need to think, you don't need to. Why are you interrupting?" Ling Qing immediately shut up and did not say anything more. "No matter who the opponent is, they are definitely weaker than us." Meng Duan said, "I am sure of this." Wen Xiaoping also supported Meng Duan's point of view. He nodded his head and agreed. Blackwater was a cautious person. At least, that was what they thought. After contacting them, Blackwater had always been very confident and did not have any fear. This proved Blackwater's confidence. If he didn't have this confidence, he wouldn't be so relieved. Waiting always made people anxious, but the moment something happened, all the previous anxiety would disappear in an instant. At least that was the case for Wen Xiaoping and Blood Wolf 7 Absolutes. When Blackwater came in front of them again, he threw them an address. "I'll go first at night, and you guys will come later. Wait for the right time. When I need you to appear, I hope you can appear in time. Give me a time," Wen Xiaoping said concisely. "Midnight," Blackwater replied. Wen Xiaoping nodded, indicating that he understood. "We will be on time. How you want to deal with it before is your problem. But if you're killed too early, we won't help you collect your corpse." Blackwater sneered. "I know. The money you got didn't include the cost of collecting the corpse. Don't worry, those small fries won't be able to kill me." "It's good that you're so confident." Wen Xiaoping said, "Midnight, this address. I'll bring people there on time." Blackwater nodded and turned to leave. Because Wen Xiaoping and the others were very boring and dull, Blackwater couldn't make friends with them. They were completely different people. Blackwater was a person who liked to play, especially in Huaxia. Looking at the whole world, the dance clubs in the American Empire were reasonable and legal, and all kinds of life were more open and dissolute. Russia also turned a blind eye to this special service industry. There were also special entertainment places in Europe and other countries that were legal. But Huaxia wasn't. Huaxia was very strict. Not to mention those special entertainment places, even a private room in an ordinary singing studio would be checked. It was a pity that the stricter the investigation, the crazier the situation became. Human psychology was very subtle. The more illegal and forbidden the place was, the more curious people were. Therefore, some messy services existed in any city in Huaxia, in any corner, even in a small town. This was not an exaggeration. In the whole of Huaxia, there were 34 provinces, more than 300 prefecture-level cities, nearly 3,000 county-level cities, and more than 40,000 townships and streets. One could find such immoral service places in any place. Even in the no-man's land where there were no fireworks for hundreds of kilometers, there was no lack of such services. People who had seen the movie No Man's Land, made by director Su and brother Bo, knew what it meant. Therefore, Blackwater really liked to play when he came to Huaxia. He also liked Huaxia girls. Huaxia girls were much better than foreign girls. As long as there was enough money, there was nothing that couldn't be played. Blackwater originally wanted to take these brothers of the Blood Wolf gang to have some fun, but he didn't expect them to be so unromantic. If Blackwater knew that these guys of the Blood Wolf gang were not straight men, he definitely wouldn't think so. The reason why they didn't like to play was not because they didn't want to, but because they couldn't. Blackwater didn't care about them. If they didn't play, he would play by himself. At night, he would return all the anger he had suffered from Su Yun. He was very happy. In the large room, Blackwater called over a dozen girls to drink and sing with him. He was having a good time. He arranged it at night, not because he was afraid of the police, but because he believed that at this time of night, all the people around Su Yun would be at that place, so he could catch all of them in one fell swoop. Not only did he want to hurt Su Yun physically, but he also wanted to destroy Su Yun mentally. He wanted Su Yun to see him skin all the women around him alive. Blackwater had never been so annoyed in all these years. It was Su Yun who ruined the rest of his life. Therefore, he also wanted to destroy everything about Su Yun. Otherwise, Blackwater wouldn't have painstakingly fooled Zhao Zihu and took the risk to contact the Blood Wolf gang. Everything Blackwater did was to make Su Yun remember that he should never provoke such a person. Otherwise, he would regret it for the rest of his life. Today, Blackwater really didn't want Su Yun's life. He just wanted to cripple Su Yun and make him hate him for the rest of his life. Although Su Yun hated him, he couldn't do anything to him. Just thinking about this made Blackwater's blood boil. Revenge was in front of him. Blackwater's mood was like that of the dozen girls in the room who were greedy for money. There was only one word to describe it, that was cool. It was so cool that Blackwater didn't have the mood to flirt with these girls. Even if he was playing here, it seemed to be a business. Blackwater wanted to fight for 300 rounds, but in less than half an hour, he couldn't sit still. When the sky had just turned completely dark, Blackwater had already arrived near Su Yun's address. He stayed there for 3 hours, watching Su Yun and his people return home one by one. These were all his targets. Blackwater wouldn't let any of them go. He wanted all of these people to die. Not a single one of them would be left alive. All of them would go to hell. Every death would bring Su Yun double the torture and pain. A smile appeared on Blackwater's face. He had been waiting for this opportunity for a long time. It was said that villains didn't wait for revenge overnight. In order to completely trample on Su Yun's spirit, Blackwater had been waiting for a long time. Chapter 2793. Because Su Yun's emotions were unstable, Lin Guo was worried. Therefore, he decided to have some fun to help Su Yun relax. It had been so many days since the Jiang family's incident, but Su Yun was still in that state. Even though everything seemed to be calm and peaceful, Su Yun seemed to have not walked out of that state. Long-term mental stress would create an indescribable pressure. There was no good way to relieve this pressure. Fong Ya was resting in the afternoon, so Lin Gu asked her to prepare the ingredients. In the afternoon, they would go to Su Yun's house and cook a big meal. Everyone would drink some wine. Maybe this would help Su Yun relax. Everyone was very supportive of Lin Ji's idea. As long as Su Yun could relax a little, anything would be worth it. Zhang Hong and Zhang Zixue had always been very embarrassed at Su Yun's house. They were very serious about participating in this matter. Other than this, what else could they do for Su Yun? To be honest, Su Yun had done so much for them that they really didn't know how to repay him. No matter what, whether it was a big or small matter, as long as they could do something for Su Yun, they would do it without hesitation. Su Yun didn't know any of this. He had been a little restless the whole day. He didn't know why, but it was an inexplicable feeling of uneasiness that made him very uncomfortable. Su Yun told himself that it was just his imagination. Originally, there were social engagements that night. However, because Su Yun was in a bad mood, Zhuo Meiyan postponed it and arranged for the manager to do it. As Sky Entertainment Group's status in the industry became higher and higher, they didn't have to attend all social engagements. Unless it was a powerful department head that they couldn't refuse, or a big director or production team that they wanted to work with. Otherwise, Su Yun didn't have to attend social engagements in person. After returning home, Su Yun was quite surprised. The dinner was really sumptuous. While everyone was drinking and chatting, Su Yun gradually forgot about those annoying things. It was already past 10 o'clock in the evening, but everyone still hadn't drunk to their heart's content. It wasn't until 11 o'clock that Lin Gu got up. "Brother, we've drunk enough. Fong Ya and I will go back first. You guys should rest early too." Su Yun seemed to be in a much better mood. "There are so many places to stay. Why are you going back? Stay here. There are rooms for you and Fong Ya in this house." "No, let's go back," Lin Gu said. "I don't want to disturb your rest." "Don't tell me the two of you are going to do it all night?" Zhuo Meiyan teased. "It's okay. If you guys can really do it all night, we're not afraid. We have earplugs." Fong Ya blushed. She knew what Zhuo Meiyan meant. "Sister Meiyan, why are you so naughty? I'm telling the truth. You're not a kid anymore. Why are you so shy?" Zhuo Meiyan laughed. "If you can really do it all night, then it means our little pigeon is capable." Fong Ya didn't dare to say anything after hearing Zhuo Meiyan's words. "Don't make it difficult for Fong Ya." Ruan Qingxuang helped her out. "She's embarrassed." Zhuo Meiyan immediately turned to Ruan Qingxuang. "They've done it before. We're used to it. It's okay. You're the one who's done it." Ruan Qingxuang was confused by Zhuo Meiyan. Her face was much redder than Fong Ya's. Lin Gu quickly said, "Then I'll be direct. I'm afraid my brother will do it all night and affect our rest. So I'll go first. If you don't make things clear today, don't even think about leaving." "Su Yun, you're pushing it on me." Even though they were fooling around, Lin Gu and Fong Ya still had to go back. Fong Ya still had to go to work tomorrow. If they all stayed here, they wouldn't know how long they would have to play. Everyone would be affected the next day. The ones who would be affected the most were Ruan Qingxuang and Fong Ya. They didn't have as much energy as experts. Everyone sent the two out. Just as the two were about to get into the car and leave, a figure in the corner of the courtyard alerted everyone. Lin Gu pulled Fong Ya behind him. Su Yun, Jie Su, and Zhang Hong also quickly blocked the girls behind them. "It's over so soon? Aren't you going to party a little longer?" Blackwater's voice sounded at this moment. It was hair-raising. Su Yun was very surprised. This guy actually came to find them again. The Tao family really didn't give up. I know what you're thinking." Blackwater smiled at Su Yun. "Don't worry, the Tao family is already in a mess. Me coming here has nothing to do with the Tao family." "Then what are you thinking?" Su Yun said calmly, "If you come here alone, I'm afraid you won't be able to get any benefits." "Of course," Blackwater said. "Brother Su is so strong. I definitely won't dare to provoke you." What did he mean? If he was confident, he must have a trump card. How can you play like this? Ruan Qingshuang was very angry with people like this. How long are you going to play? Miss Ruan, what are you talking about? Blackwater said, maybe you don't know, but because of that handful of sand, our Miss Tao's eyes are probably completely ruined. Ruan Qingshuang trembled. She really didn't expect this. She really didn't mean to hurt people. Tao Yinan asked for it. Su Yun didn't say anything and threw Blackwater's words back. It has nothing to do with her. Blackwater smiled. Okay, you can say whatever you want. It has nothing to do with her. It doesn't matter. Anyway, I have nothing to do with the Tao family now. Su Yun frowned. You're the Tao family's dog. Is it appropriate to tell me now that you have nothing to do with the Tao family? Blackwater didn't care about Su Yun's sarcastic words. Whatever you want to say has nothing to do with me. If it really has nothing to do with you, then you betrayed us really quickly. Su Yun, you found a new master in such a short time? This has nothing to do with you, Blackwater said. This is my personal privacy. You really don't have any sense of shame. Lin Gu spat. Blackwater didn't take Lin Gu seriously. A wise man submits to circumstances. You have a sense of shame. Haha, okay, then I'd like to see if you still have a sense of shame later. You think I'm scared of you? Lin Gu said and rolled up his sleeves, ready to fight. Su Yun raised his hand to signal Lin Gu not to act rashly. Blackwater wasn't stupid. He should know very well that if it was a one-on-one fight, he could definitely look down on everyone. Unfortunately, they wouldn't fight him one-on-one. With so many people and Su Yun alone, Blackwater would be in a very disadvantageous situation. Blackwater wouldn't do that. So he must have come prepared. If he acted rashly now, he would definitely get into trouble. Therefore, Su Yun didn't dare to let Lin Gu act rashly. However, he was very surprised because he couldn't sense the aura of any other expert in the surroundings except for Blackwater's murderous aura. Unless it was an expert at Su Yun's level who could hide their aura so cleanly. But it was obviously impossible now. How could a profound heaven expert be used by Blackwater? What is your purpose for coming here today? Su Yun said, let's get straight to the point. Don't try to hide anything. It's pointless. Blackwater nodded. Okay, you're right. That's boring. Then let's be frank and talk things out. Brother, what can we say to him? Let's just cripple him. Lin Gu said, I don't believe that he can do anything by himself. Chapter 2794. Yes. This is indeed an opportunity. Jiang Hong clenched his teeth. Facing this guy who almost killed him, of course, Jie Su did not want to let him go. Initially, I didn't want to hold a grudge against you. Who would have thought that someone would come knocking on my door? You're not dead yet? Blackwater was surprised. But he knew that even if Jie Su was not dead, he would be a cripple. Jie Su sneered. Thanks to you, I'm lucky. I won't die any time soon. Manager Su, you're really kind-hearted. Where is this place? A shelter? Blackwater said in disdain. You're keeping a cripple? He doesn't even have the ability to guard your door. Is he a freeloader? Jie Su wanted to hit him. Su Yun smiled. He's my brother. You don't have to ask him what he does. But you're right. I'm really kind-hearted. If you're crippled and come begging in front of my door, I'll definitely give you a bite to eat. But it's hard to say whether I'll raise you or not. I'd rather raise a dog than raise you. Blackwater's face turned black. Even a dog will wag its tail at me when it's grateful. Su Yun said, Keep you? What can I do? I don't dare to keep a slave of 3 surnames. Blackwater's face changed. Su Yun, what else do you have other than being stubborn? What about you? What else do you have other than bad breath? Su Yun said, I want to know what you're here for. I'm here to take your life. Blackwater said, if not for you, I wouldn't have ended up like this.
I can't return to Moscow because of the Tao family's internal strife. You cut off my path.
Of course I have to take revenge. Okay. This is between the two of us.
We'll find a place to settle it.
Su Yun said, if it's not related to them, we don't have to disturb them here.
Blackwater, you have to know when to take a step back.
Blackwater snorted. Unfortunately, I don't know what it means to take a step back.
I only know how to push my luck. Then I'm not the only one you're after, right?
Su Yun said, Blackwater, why are you being so secretive? Blackwater's eyes fell on Zhang Zishue and Zhang Hong. Of course, I have to solve the problem that I should have solved when I first came to Huaxia.
The Tao family is already having internal strife, and you can't go back. You still want to continue?
Su Yun said, I'm afraid you're not that loyal.
Blackwater didn't hate this at all. I'm not loyal enough.
But now I'm working for someone else, but that person still wants me to deal with these two scourges.
What can I do?
Zhang Zishue's expression changed.
She quickly guessed, Zhao Zihu.
Zhao Zihu must have sent you.
Blackwater didn't answer Zhang Zishue's question. There are some things that don't need to be so clear.
Colluding with each other. Zhang Zishue was trembling with anger.
Miss Zhang, please don't say that, Blackwater said. Taking someone's money and eliminating someone's misfortune go hand in hand. Cut the crap, Su Yun said. If you want to touch them, you'll have to ask me first.
Blackwater's lips curled up slightly. Of course, you're my first target. With just you?
What do you think your chances of winning are? Su Yun asked.
Blackwater didn't hold back. With just me, I have a 50% chance of winning.
You sure know how to boast shamelessly, Su Yun said.
Blackwater was full of confidence. What do you think?
I don't think you have any confidence at all.
Su Yun directly destroyed his inner confidence.
Do you know what I admire the most about you?
Blackwater Taoist asked. The one thing I admire most about you is your confidence.
Thank you, Su Yun said. I also admire myself, so you don't need to say more.
But confidence can't feed you, Blackwater said. Your confidence can't solve any problems for you.
If I say that I have helpers, what do you think your chances of winning are?
Su Yun said bluntly, the last time we met, you seemed to have helpers by your side, but I seemed to be the one who won in the end.
Not you.
Blackwater's expression was ugly. If he hadn't wanted to destroy the pottery figurine, he wouldn't have lost.
Okay, let's say you won last time, Blackwater said, but you won't be so lucky this time.
According to the winning percentage of our fights, I have a 100% chance of winning against you.
Su Yun smiled, so I have to be confident, but I'm afraid you'll have to think about it.
Blackwater said, then I'll let you know what despair is today.
I don't mind if you can do it, because there's no such word in my dictionary, Su Yun said. You're welcome to fill in the blanks, but I'm afraid you don't have the ability.
Is that so?
Blackwater laughed proudly, relying on the power behind him. I wonder if you've heard of the Blood Wolf Gang? Su Yun's expression changed immediately.
Lin Gu, Jie Su, and the others were also stunned.
Even Ruan Qingxuang didn't know what to do. She had heard from Bai Xiaoye and Chou Yun that Su Yun was in a bad mood because of the Blood Wolf Gang.
Zhuo Meiyan snorted. I find that you really can't stop bragging.
Blackwater laughed and said, then let's wait and see. You brought the Blood Wolf Gang to Guqin Island?
Su Yun glared at Blackwater coldly. One of the Blood Wolf Gang's 1,000 slayers and 7 invincible.
You brought them all to Guqin Island?
Blackwater was shocked to hear Su Yun's words.
How did Su Yun know so much?
The things they did in Yanjing haven't been solved yet, Su Yun said. You brought them to Guqin Island?
Blackwater, you'd better tell me the truth. Does Dongqing Jiu's matter have anything to do with you? Blackwater took a deep breath.
Although Su Yun was far away in Guqin Island, he was very familiar with the things in Yanjing City.
Blackwater didn't know that Su Yun had been to the auction. They were both at the auction that day.
However, the rich people at the auction were all accompanied by powerful bodyguards, so they didn't notice each other's presence.
Dong Qingjiu's matter has nothing to do with me. He was the one who talked nonsense, so he can't blame others for taking revenge on him, Blackwater said. Su Yun suddenly realized, you were at the auction that day too? You were there too. Blackwater's eyes almost popped out. It was really unbelievable. If I knew you were there, I would have crippled you that day, Su Yun said. He wasn't bragging. If he knew that Blackwater was in Yanjing, Su Yun could make a phone call and turn Blackwater into a turtle in a jar. He wouldn't even give Blackwater a chance to escape, and he would be completely trapped in Yanjing City. You can't brag like that, Blackwater said. Blackwater said, I know that Boss Su has a lot of connections in Beijing, but I'm not a pushover either. Do you really think that I'm using the Blood Wolf Gang to scare you? Su Yun knew that Blackwater didn't bring up the Blood Wolf Gang for nothing. Do you think you have the upper hand in front of the Blood Wolf Gang with your connections? Blackwater said, I'm afraid you really have to think about it, right? In order to make Su Yun believe him, Blackwater explained things more clearly. He believed that with Su Yun's ability in Yanjing, he would definitely know who auctioned the Golden Crown. The Golden Crown is the treasure of the Blood Wolf Gang. Joe deserved to die for what he said, Blackwater said. What do you think, Mr. Su? This confirmed the relationship between Blackwater and the Blood Wolf Gang. Chapter 2795. Su Yun never thought that Blackwater and the Blood Wolf Regiment could be together. This was far beyond Su Yun's psychological calculations. There was no possible relationship between these two parties. How could they collude with each other? What is your relationship with the Blood Wolf Regiment? Su Yun should have asked Ma San'er if there were any traitors in the Blood Wolf Regiment and if there was someone called Blackwater. However, the connection between these two things was beyond Su Yun's imagination, so Su Yun could not ask more. Don't get me wrong. I have nothing to do with the Blood Wolf Regiment. Blackwater said, it's just that now I'm paying for them. I'm their boss. They will do whatever I ask them to do. That's all. Su Yun frowned. This was really reliable. If the Blood Wolf Regiment had not been short of money, they would not have taken out the Golden Crown to auction. If they had not been short of money, they would not have been angry because the Golden Crown could not be sold. From this series of situations, it seemed that the Blood Wolf Regiment had no money. Money was the most troublesome thing for them now. So as long as they had money, they could order the Blood Wolf Regiment. This was not surprising. Now Blackwater had the backing of the Zhao family. It was obviously a very good reason to pay a high price to the Blood Wolf Regiment to solve the problem of the Jiang siblings. Su Yun realized that the current crisis was very big. They had all fallen into a great danger. Can you stop bragging? Lin Gu spat. You keep talking about the Blood Wolf Regiment. Where are they? Why don't you call them out for me to see? How could 8 experts be so hidden that they couldn't be seen at all? Lin Gu did not believe it. He felt that even if he could not detect the aura of the other side, Brother Yun should be able to detect it. But no one could detect it. So Lin Gu was a little confused. He really suspected that Blackwater was bragging. He was using this to scare them. However, Su Yun knew that this was not a groundless rumor. Blackwater will solve our problems, Su Yun said. You're really bringing trouble to yourself by involving those people. Boss Su, you don't have to educate me on this, Blackwater Taoist said. I know the consequences of provoking the Blood Wolf Gang. After a pause, Blackwater continued. However, I'm still confident that I can escape from Huaxia. After all, Qingdao is on the coast. It won't take long for me to enter the international waters after I finish you off. At that time, no matter how many people you can arrange, you won't be able to catch me. Su Yun clenched his fists. This guy didn't care about the life and death of the Blood Wolf Regiment. If Blackwater only needed to protect himself, he could easily escape with his ability. As long as he escaped from Huaxia, this matter would not be easy to deal with. Although this world was very small, there were still many places he could hide if he wanted to. Blackwater, why don't you let the two of us settle this matter? Su Yun said, why do you have to involve others? Blackwater said disdainfully. Now you want to fight one-on-one? But you wanted to gang up on me just now. You don't dare, Su Yun said. I don't dare? If I didn't dare, I wouldn't be standing in front of you today. Blackwater sneered. If you win, we'll be at your disposal. If you lose, let the Bloodwolf gang go, and I'll spare your life, Su Yun said. That's very suitable. Blackwater looked up and laughed. Ha 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 ha. Su Yun, oh Su Yun, you're too good at scheming, aren't you? Do you really think I'm stupid? So you're still not confident, Su Yun said lightly. Su Yun, you don't need to provoke me, Blackwater said. I'll kill you myself today, and no one needs to help me. But if you want to use your own distraction to let the others escape, you're dreaming. Blackwater. This is between us. Zhang Hong stood up. My sister and I will stay. Let the others go. Shut up, Lin Gu said. I'm not a coward. If you want to play, let's play together. Zhang Zishue was also anxious. Now is not the time to be emotional. You have to go, especially you. You have to protect them. Lin Gu could not leave. As long as Su Yun was here, he could not leave this place. Don't talk nonsense with me, Lin Gu said. I can't leave. If you want to leave, you can leave. Hearing their words, Blackwater lost his patience and yelled, Enough! Don't think about leaving. None of you can leave. Su Yun's anger was burning. If he was unable to protect the people around him today, he would rather die than kill those who deserve to die. You're too naive. I said that I won't let any of you leave. None of you can leave, Blackwater said. Those who humiliated me don't think about leaving. This time, Blackwater was determined to give Su Yun the heaviest blow. Su Yun, do you really think that killing you can get rid of the hatred in my heart? Blackwater said. Let me tell you, it's impossible. I'll kill everyone around you one by one, and you won't die so easily. I'll slowly torture you, slowly. I'll F*King kill you right now. Lin Gu could not stand it anymore. He did not want to listen to Blackwater's bullshit anymore. He stepped forward. Blackwater retreated and shouted, You're not qualified to fight me. There were still 5 minutes to midnight. Blackwater had already sent the address, but the guys from Bloodwolf were punctual. They had yet to show up. As soon as Lin Gu made his move, the others were ready for battle. Everyone was waiting for the elites from Bloodwolf to show up. However, everything was calm and tranquil without a single ripple. Could Blackwater really be bragging? The same thought popped up in everyone's mind at the same time. Lin Gu was not the only one who could not stand it anymore. Jesu also pulled out his fist. This was no longer their problem. Blackwater was surprised. Jesu was so badly injured, but he could still step forward bravely. He was not weak at all. Blackwater did not expect this at all. However, Blackwater wasn't worried about all of this. The strength of the experts of the Bloodwolf regiment that he had dispatched was all above them. There was no need for him to worry at all. You've recovered well. Blackwater sneered. I wasn't wrong. You're really good material. Jesu said coldly, Cut the crap. I remember clearly how you harmed me. So what? Do you really think you can hurt me? Blackwater said disdainfully. Don't joke around. You're not qualified. After saying that, Blackwater looked at Lin Gu and said to Jesu, You're just like this kid. You think you're good, but you're just a pile of trash. Lin Gu and Jesu's strength was not bad, but compared to Blackwater, they were still lacking. At this moment, a strong pressure surrounded them. It was so oppressive that it was hard to breathe. Su Yun was stunned. Everyone looked around in surprise. They're here. Blackwater laughed to himself. He knew that the Bloodwolf was here. When Xiuping had brought people here. These guys were really punctual. They said it was 12 o'clock and it was 12 o'clock. Su Yun also knew that they were in trouble. Blackwater wasn't lying. The reason why he could be so unyielding was because of his self-confidence. Bloodwolf. Su Yun actually bumped into these guys. Su Yun could not believe it. They bumped into each other so quickly. Chapter 2796. Compared to Su Yun, the others felt the pressure from the experts of the Blood Wolf group more clearly. Lin Ji's expression was very ugly. He had never encountered such a situation. He had never encountered such opponents before. Every aura brought him great pressure. Especially one of them, which was even stronger than He Shui's aura. Jie Su didn't know much about the Blood Wolf group. He heard that this group was very powerful from Su Yun and Lin Gu, so he didn't have much of an impression of them. But when these people came out, their auras were completely different. It was completely beyond his imagination. This was completely different from what he had expected. He knew that the Blood Wolf group was very powerful, but he didn't know that they were this powerful. What kind of people were they? How could such experts be hired by others? 1 he could understand, 2 he could understand, 3 he could understand, even 4 he could understand. However, there were 8 experts of this level gathered all of a sudden, and they could do whatever they wanted. Why would they still need to be used by others? He couldn't understand. Jie Su couldn't understand at all. Zhuo Meiyan finally understood what it meant by, "There is always someone better than you." The Blood Wolf group was as terrifying as the legends said. As for Chou Yun, she seemed to be the same no matter who she faced. She didn't show any reaction at all. Bai Xiaoye was probably the only one who didn't feel much about the strength of these 8 people. What kind of environment did she grow up in? What kind of environment did she grow up in? Zhuo Langyue waved her hand, and the 5 war gods stood in front of her. Which one of them wasn't stronger than Meng Duan of the 7 absolutes? It could even be said that any one of them could easily defeat Wen Xiaoping. Therefore, Bai Xiaoye wasn't too shocked. She had seen it before, so she could be so calm. But it was a pity that calmness couldn't be eaten, and it couldn't solve the problem. Bai Xiaoye's strength was too weak. She couldn't do much. Facing these people from the Blood Wolf group, Su Yun was probably the only one who didn't fall into a disadvantageous position. Jie Su and Lin Gu couldn't pose a threat to these people. As for the others, they were a bunch of small fries who couldn't fight back at all. What could small fries do? It was completely useless. Ha 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 ha, what do you think? Don't you think I'm exaggerating? Let me tell you something. As long as you have money, there's no problem that can't be solved. When Wen Xiaoping appeared, Blackwater's face was filled with self-righteousness and pride. What else do you have to say? Blackwater Daoist asked. Su Yun, Chairman Su? Don't keep quiet. What do you want to talk about? Blackwater, I promise you will regret this. Su Yun coldly looked at the Blood Wolf group. He knew all too well that there was no comparison at all. He didn't care about Su Yun, but what about the others? Su Yun cared about others. If everyone else could be safe, Su Yun wouldn't care. But if he could exchange his life for the safety of others, he wouldn't hesitate to do so. I've never regretted anything I've done, Blackwater said, including the fact that I didn't finish you off last time and kept you alive until today. I didn't regret it. Wen Xiaoping said coldly, we're here to do something, not to listen to your nonsense. How do you want to deal with this? Do it quickly. Blackwater smiled. You've waited for a whole day. What's the point of waiting a little longer? Don't think of yourself as our boss. Wen Xiaoping said, my men are here to do something for the Blood Wolf group. It has nothing to do with you. Blackwater cursed in his heart for being pretentious, but he wouldn't show it. See? This is the quality of the Blood Wolf group. Chairman Su, if you kneel down and kowtow to me 3 times, I'll consider giving you a quick death. If it weren't for the people around him, Su Yun would have already made his move. F***ck your mother. Lin Gu could not tolerate someone humiliating Su Yun like this. I'll cripple you right now. Just as Lin Gu was about to make his move, Meng Duan stepped forward and stood in front of Lin Gu. He didn't make a move, but his powerful aura forced Lin Gu to stop. Pigeon.
Go back. Su Yun didn't want to see Lin Gu do something stupid. Lin Gu gritted his teeth and clenched his fists. The Blood Wolf group has been in hiding for many years.
Aren't they afraid of getting into trouble? Su Yun looked at Wen Xiaoping.
He had already judged who was the real boss. The Blood Wolf group is not afraid of trouble. Wen Xiaoping could also feel that Su Yun was not an ordinary person.
Su Yun said lightly, the Blood Wolf group is now in dire straits. They have to rely on auctioning gold crowns to survive. I'm afraid they don't have the time to think about who they've offended.
What do you mean? Wen Xiaoping was stunned. He didn't expect Su Yun to know so much. Dong Cheng Laojiu's first words at the auction were enough to make the Blood Wolf gang so angry that he died without a whole body.
Su Yun said, how much does he care about this little money?
Blackwater was stunned.
Su Yun, you don't have to say so much nonsense, do you? How do you know?
Wen Xiaoping was a cautious person.
He was really curious.
Of course I know.
Su Yun said, I was there that day. I also know that you've been targeted.
Wen Xiaoping was stunned. Before they came to Guqin Island, Xing Pangjing told him to leave Yanjing as soon as possible because he sensed danger. Xing Pangjing had realized that someone was targeting them. That was why he made such arrangements.
Who exactly are you?
Wen Xiaoping was a little moved. This young man really knew too much.
You don't need to know who he is. He's my target.
Blackwater said, the rest of the people are for the Blood Wolf group to deal with.
Wen Xiaoping didn't look at Blackwater as simply as before.
He suddenly realized that things were more complicated than he thought.
If you want to know who I am, then try touching my people.
Su Yun said, the Blood Wolf group has been working for so many years. You know better than me what kind of people they work for.
Now, the place you want to work for doesn't need you, but it doesn't mean that you can provoke.
At this point, it was already very clear.
You're from the country?
Wen Xiaoping frowned.
It wasn't a wise choice to provoke people from the country.
It had been like this since ancient times. Don't listen to his nonsense.
He's just trying to distract you.
Blackwater felt that something was wrong when he heard that Wen Xiaoping was brought into the topic of Su Yun.
Do it now.
Wait.
Wen Xiaoping raised his hand, indicating that his people shouldn't act rashly. Su Yun said calmly, you don't need to worry about whether I'm from the country or not.
But I know some things that I should know. The more Wen Xiaoping listened to Su Yun, the more hesitant he became.
Su Yun grasped his mentality. I advise you not to do this job.
Otherwise, it's really not suitable. You're risking your lives. Wen Xiaoping was silent.
You can't even stand this little threat? Isn't the Blood Wolf group too cowardly?
Blackwater provoked.
You'd better shut up.
Wen Xiaoping glanced at Blackwater.
Blackwater was naturally unhappy. If they want you to do it, their price is naturally higher than the Golden Crown. Even if the price is twice as high and they give you 1 billion, I'm afraid you won't be able to spend it.
Su Yun smiled mysteriously. This is something that needs to be carefully considered. Chapter 2797. It's meaningless for you to listen to his nonsense. Blackwater said, it's impossible for the Blood Wolf Regiment to not understand such a basic principle.
Su Yun smiled and said, even if you're helping others, you have to ensure that you're safe, right?
Wen Xiaoping said, I'm afraid the Blood Wolf gang hasn't been born yet.
Do you think I'll be afraid of what you said?
If he wasn't afraid, he wouldn't have said such nonsense. You're really afraid, Su Yun said. If the Blood Wolf gang didn't fear anyone, why did they disappear for so many years? Are you kidding? Do you know how to chat?
Blackwater stared at him and said, how can you talk like that? Do you think the Blood Wolf gang disappeared? That's called hiding. Do you know what hiding is? Hiding in the city. That's called hiding.
Su Yun snorted, Blackwater, I find you're really good at chatting. Everything that comes out of your mouth is good.
I can't help it.
I'm such a person, Blackwater said, Besides, I'm telling the truth. Only the Blood Wolf Gang knows whether it's the truth or not. Su Yun said, "It's a modern civilized society. It's completely different from the past. There's no chaos like the Republic of China. They have no place to use their skills. They know they're at the end of their rope, but they still want to hold on to their last dignity and get a higher status. It's impossible." Wan Xiaoping's face was ugly. He never thought that someone would dare to say such things to the Blood Wolf Gang. This was indeed their current situation. Even their own people were aware of their current situation. It was just that no one admitted it. Everyone kept it in their hearts and suppressed all the unpleasant things. "Su Yun, I think we should stop talking nonsense. Let's do it." Blackwater was about to attack. "Blackwater, we can do things for you, but we don't want to get into trouble that we shouldn't." When Xiaoping suddenly said, "This is just a group of small fish. Except for the one in front of you, the others don't matter at all. The Zhao family can just find a few people to deal with him. Why do you want to use this money to get us to do it? And you want to deal with this person personally? 1 billion just to deal with these small fries in front of him. It was too much." No matter how rich the Zhao family was, they would not do such a thing. In fact, Blackwater didn't look for the Blood Wolf Regiment just to pretend. He also had some scruples. He knew that Su Yun had a powerful force behind him. He was worried that there were other experts behind Su Yun. If a Cheng Yaojin suddenly appeared, he would not be able to control it. Therefore, he did not hesitate to let Zhao Zihu pay a high price to invite this group of experts who could make him feel at ease. With these people around, even if something went wrong, they would be able to handle it. This way, he would have a way out. Blackwater was very meticulous. Some of the things in his mind were completely unthinkable to others. Therefore, it was not easy for Blackwater to survive after experiencing so many troublesome things. This was all because he could think so much. The price was not the same. Faced with Wan Xiaoping's question, Blackwater was really speechless. He could not tell his real purpose. Otherwise, the Blood Wolf Regiment would have more scruples. Although Su Yun only said a few words, he had said too many things. Therefore, the Blood Wolf Regiment had some scruples. The evil warding manual has been passed down for so many years, but there are still people who practice it. Su Yun smiled. "Don't you think this is a disaster?" Lin Gu added, "A group of people who are neither men nor women." "Shut up." Meng Duan looked at Lin Gu fiercely. Blackwater suddenly realized. No wonder they did not look for women. They were all useless people. That day, when Blackwater wanted to arrange for them, they did not fall out with him. They were already very respectful. "We can't afford to provoke them. Follow the will of the heavens," Su Yun said. "The Blood Wolf Regiment has been like this since ancient times. That's why they can survive until now. Isn't that right?" Su Yun's words were reasonable. Wan Xiaoping was also very clear that it was indeed so. No organization could go against the will of the heavens. At the beginning of every era, there would be a group of thieves who wanted to go against the will of the heavens. If they did not succeed, they would die. In the 5,000 years of Huaxia, it was impossible that there was no organization stronger than the Blood Wolf Regiment. Their demise was definitely not because they were not strong enough, but because they did not follow the will of the heavens. The will of the heavens was the change of dynasties. Generation after generation, the winners were kings and the losers were bandits. The losers were buried in the end. The Blood Wolf Regiment had always followed behind the successful ones, so they had never been submerged in this wave. Because of this, they could persist until today. It was not that they never had any scruples and never failed. It was that they never provoked the side that they could not provoke. Following the will of the heavens, they finally got all of this. As the 1000/ of the Blood Wolf Regiment, Wan Xiaoping was very clear about how the Blood Wolf Regiment got to where they were today. Until their generation, they still remembered the teachings of their ancestors. They absolutely could not go against the will of the heavens. As long as they went against the will of the heavens, what awaited them in the end was only destruction. Destruction meant that they would disappear from this world forever. If they wanted the Blood Wolf Regiment to exist in this world for generations, they had to figure out who they could provoke and who they could not touch.
For now, the people of the country could not be touched.
The affairs of the country could not be provoked.
If they wanted to provoke, they had to weigh it clearly and see how much weight they had. Unless a country was about to die, they absolutely could not provoke a country. Now Huaxia was at the peak of its history. The country was prosperous and the people were at peace. How could such a country die?
Such a country could only become more and more prosperous, more and more powerful, and more difficult to resist. Unless they complied, it was impossible. The Blood Wolf Regiment wanted to comply and be recruited, but now it was not the same as before. The 108 heroes of the Water Margin Liangshan were recruited because killing and arson were not a big deal at that time.
Any ruffian or bully had done this kind of thing.
But now, an organization that lived by killing wanted to become a citizen of the country and become a civil servant? What a joke! The reason why Huaxia hadn't arranged for anyone to touch the Blood Wolf gang was that they were worried that they would be driven into desperation and do something outrageous. So since the Blood Wolf Regiment had disappeared, they did not pay attention to them. This was to solve the problem in the most stable way. They wanted to let the Blood Wolf Regiment fend for themselves and slowly disappear in this era. There would be no big crisis if there was no big conflict.
So now everything was different from before. How can there be so many concerns when you are paid to do things? Blackwater was a little angry. Seeing Wen Xiaoping hesitate, he really regretted talking so much just now. If he had known earlier, he would have done it directly. Now the people of the Blood Wolf Regiment could not make up their minds. But they had already received the money. It would be unreasonable if they did not do anything. Wen Xiaoping could not do such a dishonest thing, but the risk really made it difficult for him. I'm afraid the Blood Wolf Regiment has now gotten into trouble in Yanjing because of Dongcheng Laojiu, Su Yun said. It is still a problem whether they can avoid this trouble or not. Do you want to continue to cause trouble? Wen Xiaoping was getting more and more restless. Xing Pangjing told him that the party who was looking for trouble with them this time was not simple. It was not an ordinary person, but a citizen of the country. Could it be that the young man in front of him was really a citizen of the country? If so, he really could not make a move easily. Chapter 2798. Wen Xiaoping only wanted to get in touch with Xing Pangjing and confirm his identity. However, Blackwater could not tolerate it any longer. He would not let Wen Xiaoping wait like this. Once the Blood Wolf gang changed their mind, he would not have a chance. I will pay another sum of money for those who take action today. Blackwater said, I don't need Tu Cheng's help. After saying that, the Blackwater rushed up and directly attacked Su Yun. Meng Duan, who was already unhappy with Lin Gu, also took action immediately. He was not doing it for the money, but because he could not stand others humiliating them. The Seven Invincibles' position in the Blood Wolf gang was obviously lower than Qian Zhan and Wen Xiaoping. Nine Qilin's position was also higher than theirs. However, the Seven Invincible were very independent. Most of the time, they did not even care about Qian Zhan's orders. They only knew that Tu Cheng Xing Pangjing had asked them to come to the Guqin Island to help Blackwater. Wen Xiaoping was only the leader. As for the arrangement, they would deal with whoever Blackwater wanted them to deal with. This was the most important point. Wen Xiaoping's cowardice did not mean that they would be cowardly too. They would not consider who the other party was. Even if the other party was the King of Heaven, they would still take action. As long as Meng Duan took action, the others would not be able to stop him. Meng Duan was the leader of the Seven Invincible. His actions represented his orders. Yihui and Ling Cheng reacted the fastest. They followed closely behind Meng Duan and went forward. Jie Su saw that the situation was not good and quickly went forward to stop them. Unfortunately, with his strength, even if he was not injured at all and had fully recovered, it was impossible for him to withstand the joint attack of Yihui and Ling Cheng. Jie Su, who had just recovered from his internal injuries,
used his body to protect the people behind him. He vomited blood on the spot. Su Yun was restrained by black water and could not help the others. Under Meng Duan's aggressive attacks, Lin Ge did not have any room to retaliate. He could only defend himself. The others did not have the ability to solve the problem at all. Zhang Hong quickly sent out a few flying daggers. Only then did he manage to solve the urgent situation. However, although Zhang Hong's flying dagger was a deterrent, it was not enough to really injure so many experts. It was not a problem to save them in a moment of emergency, but it was impossible to expect it to be of any great use. In the face of the other party's overbearing aura, Su Yun's heart was strong but his body was weak. Wan Xiaoping realized that he couldn't control the situation, so he could only let the others do the dirty work. When Cripple, 3000, Absolute Song and Scorching Sun saw that Yihui and Spirit City had also made their moves, they all made some preparations and wanted to move around a little. Bullying noobs was the best. Although the people present were all super experts, and all of them had made breakthroughs in their martial cultivation, in the eyes of these people, they were still very immature. Su Yun has already given you such a clear warning, yet you still don't know what's good for you? This voice seemed to have come from the horizon. Everyone present was stunned. Before Wan Xiaoping and the others could react, strong winds came from all directions. That domineering aura that was mixed with majesty was also mixed with traces of imperceptible hostility and killing intent. Buzz. Wan Xiaoping's mind went blank. He immediately made a judgment. They had bumped into trouble today. In this gust of wind, there were no less than 10 experts' auras. More importantly, the strength of these 10 people was not below his at all. This was the most F***king terrifying thing. It could even be said that these 10 people were completely capable of fighting against the 9 Chilants of the Blood Wolf gang. With just the 7 absolutes, they could forget about getting any advantage from these people. Su Yun was also dumbfounded. This voice was so familiar, but he couldn't remember who it was. Everyone's eyes were focused on Su Yun, as if they were trying to figure out who the newcomer was from his expression. However, Su Yun's blank expression also made them feel at a loss. I brought people from Beijing and followed you all here. I wanted to cripple you all yesterday, but seeing how sneaky you all were, you must have other motives. The voice continued, I didn't expect you bastards to really have something to do. If you have something to do, then so be it. You even dared to provoke my people. Su Yun was even more confused now. Who was it? I don't know who you are. Do I know you? Su Yun was puzzled. Cough cough. Although you're not considered one of my people now, you almost were back then. The voice continued, if not. Sigh, forget it, let's not talk about it. Although you're not one of my people, I still treat you as one of mine. Whoever dares to touch you, I'll be the first to destroy them. F***ck, what kind of big shot was this? Su Yun's mind was really blank. Brother. This is really a master. What kind of master did you have in the past? Or some godfather? Lin Gu smacked his lips. To be able to penetrate the sound as if it came from beyond the heavens, and to be able to control the range of the sound so well that only the people in the circle could hear it, and not disturb the people outside the circle, this was not something an ordinary person could do. Although it was not as good as the legendary Reverend Eating's voice from 1,000 miles away, it still required a strong internal force. I only have one godfather. You know that. Su Yun stared. He was really confused now and had no clue at all. Lin Gu sighed. Even Blackwater was confused. What was the background of Su Yun? In addition to the people who could mobilize the army, who else could he mobilize? No. It was still the people from the army. Blackwater suddenly realized that these people were not coming for Su Yun, but for the Blood Wolf gang. They followed them from Beijing to Qingdao. These people must be from the special department, must be the special secret department of the army. These people chased the Blood Wolf gang because of Ninth Brother Dongqing. If it were not for Ninth Brother Dongqing, they would not have been targeted. Damn it! This was bad luck. Why did the Blood Wolf Regiment have to stir up trouble at this critical juncture? Black water was dragged down by them. In the current situation, even if these masters did not care about him, as long as they were from the Blood Wolf gang, Su Yun would not let Blackwater go. Blackwater's forehead was suddenly full of cold sweat, and his whole body kept trembling. This was a situation that he did not expect at all. Su Yun, you're good. You've made a lot of progress. The voice continued, but how did these bastards fight with you? Su Yun did not care who the other party was. Since he was so familiar with him, he did not need to be polite. The Blood Wolf gang has no grudges with me. They took someone's money and did something shady. Ha ha ha, when did the Blood Wolf gang fall to this point? Do odd jobs with others? The man laughed wildly. What a bunch of trash. One Xiaoping was scolded, but he did not react at all. His face was ugly, very ugly. But in the face of the current situation, he was completely helpless. He did not even see the other party's figure. One hasn't asked me to do anything for a long time. I thought it would be difficult. The man continued. It turned out to be to deal with a small fish of the Blood Wolf gang. Boring, boring. Su Yun suddenly realized. Dark group. It must be the dark group. He finally remembered who the owner of the voice was. It was the dark group. Chapter 2799. Within the Dragon Brigade, there was an organization that they rarely came into contact with. This was the Dark Department. Although the Dark Department was directly under Wan Quangxiao's command, they had absolute autonomy. The Dark Department was not in the same place as the Dragon Brigade, but they were inextricably linked. Everyone had always compared the Dragon's Fury to the sharp blade of the Dragon Brigade, but Su Yun knew that the true sharp blade was the Dark Department. Or it could be said that the Dark Department was the poison that was smeared on the blade. Once touched, the enemy would die. It was this kind of organization that everyone within the Dragon Brigade felt was mysterious. And the leader of the Dark Department, Mu Baichen, was on the same level as Wan Quangxiao, known as the Divine Dragon Twin Fiends. And the person who spoke was definitely Mu Baichen. Mu Baichen was younger than Wan Quangxiao, but his strength was already comparable to Wan Quangxiao's. It was believed that in his lifetime, he still had hopes of surpassing Wan Quangxiao. In Wan Quangxiao's words, Mu Baichen was the first person in the entire Dragon Brigade to break through the Earth Profound Realm and touch the Sky Profound Realm. Of course, Su Yun might also touch the Sky Profound Realm, but when Wan Quangxiao said this, Su Yun's cultivation had not advanced by leaps and bounds. Now, it was not certain who would be the first person in the Dragon Brigade to touch the Sky Profound Realm. You are Uncle Mu, Su Yun said with some excitement. Mu Baichen snorted. Not bad, kid. It's been more than 10 years, and you can still recognize my voice. Not bad, as expected of the person I chose. Uncle Mu, how did you get involved with the Blood Wolf Regiment? Su Yun asked while looking around, wanting to know where Mu Baichen was. I don't want to get mixed up with people of their level. Mu Baichen said, wasn't it because I was tricked by Wan? Right at this moment, a figure flashed by swiftly, but no one felt even the slightest sound of the wind. Mu Baichen appeared beside Su Yun without any warning. The nearly 50-year-old Mu Baichen had no signs of age at all. He looked no different from a 20 to 30-year-old youth. Kid, I really didn't think that you would still remember me. Mu Baichen smiled. Su Yun said, I should be the one saying that. I didn't expect Uncle Mu to still remember me. Ha 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 ha, you're still being modest with me? You're not like me at all. When I was your age and in the Dragon Brigade, I wanted to tell everyone that I was the best in the world. Let me tell you, at that time, even Senior Chief Wan didn't have any temper with me. Mu Baichen said, otherwise, why would he throw me into the Dark Department, that godforsaken place where birds don't even shit? Clearly, Mu Baichen's last sentence was a joke. Everyone in the Dragon Brigade knew that Mu Baichen had taken the initiative to go to the Dark Department. If the Dragon Brigade was in charge of the most dangerous things in Huaxia, then the dock department was in charge of the most dangerous missions in the Dragon Brigade. As long as it was something that required the dock department to move out, then it would be fatal at any moment. So when Mu Baichen went to the dock department, Wan Guangxiao didn't want to let him go. The dock department would receive more painful and strict training than the Dragon Brigade, more dangerous missions, and an unpredictable future. Mu Baichen was also the successor that Wan Guangxiao had his eyes on. But Mu Baichen didn't want that. He directly told Wan Guangxiao that he wouldn't be in his position. He didn't want to be a leader who had to think about so many things every day. Mu Baichen only said that since he was in the Dragon Brigade, he had to do the most dangerous things and deal with the most troublesome problems. So he didn't hesitate to enter the dock department. In the 5 years he was in the dock department, he almost lost his life 3 times. In order to make him leave the dock department, Wan Guangxiao was anxious with the leaders above. But Mu Baichen was determined to stay in the dock department. He said that he liked the feeling of living on the edge of life and death. He liked to do these things that were either life or death. Later, the dock department's leader died because of a mission, and the dock department's leadership fell on Mu Baichen. This time Mu Baichen didn't refuse. He realized that the responsibility couldn't be avoided. Then, he stayed in the dock department. After so many years, more than 10 years ago, the dock department recruited people. The Dragon Brigade naturally had to set an example in front of the other brigades. Although the leaders of the Special Operations Group all over the country didn't want to send their beloved soldiers to the dock department, but they had no choice. There were some rules that they had to obey. Fortunately, the dock department didn't choose people from the younger generation, because they wanted people who were more experienced. Basically, the people who entered the dock department were all above 30 years old. And there was also a requirement for IQ, which was definitely higher than a certain value. Another point was that they had to be willing. Because there was an indisputable fact that no one in the dock department could escape unscathed, whether it was the leader of the sharp blade or the members of the dock department. Their final result was regrettable because the missions they had to face were too dangerous. No one could guarantee that they could finish well in the dock department. This was the psychological preparation that all the dock department members had to make before entering. But even so, the dock department was still a place that everyone yearned for. Su Yun also yearned for it, but he hadn't reached the age to enter the dock department. That year, Mu Baichen had taken a fancy to Su Yun. He said that Su Yun had the vigor of his youth. He couldn't say it, so he asserted that Su Yun would be a member of his dock department sooner or later. Wan Guangxiao wanted to turn hostile at that time. But even so, Mu Baichen still opened his mouth to ask Wan Guangxiao for him. But Wan Guangxiao directly threw down a sentence. Impossible. There wasn't even a crack in the door. Because of this, Mu Baichen still wanted to apply to the higher-ups. He also promised that he would only bring Su Yun to the dock department. Before Su Yun reached the age, he wouldn't let him go on a mission. After that, it wasn't just Wan Guangxiao who turned hostile. Wang Yi directly threw the gun in front of Mu Baichen. One sentence: if you want to take Su Yun away, then you have to kill him first. Otherwise, no one can fucking take him away. Mu Baichen gave up at that time. Mu Baichen was too clear about Wang Yi's temper. Therefore, Mu Baichen was very clear about Su Yun. Today, he was able to meet Su Yun here. It was as if it was fated. One must know that Su Yun was no longer the little brat from 10 years ago. He was an adult with his own opinions. If he could come to the dock department at this time, then... But when he thought of Wang Yi's expression, Mu Baichen gave up on this idea. Just like when he entered the dock department, they were all against it. Mu Baichen knew that they really couldn't bear to. But, if they couldn't bear to, then wouldn't no one be able to enter the dock department? Then how would the dock department develop in the future? Who would deal with those troublesome matters in the future? The dock department was like this. Sooner or later, there would be people rushing in. They all had a mission, the expectations of their leaders, the hopes of their brothers, and everything entrusted to them. Every position had its own destiny. His destiny was to be a member of the dock department. So, he was destined to be a ghost of the dock department. This was Mu Baichen's understanding of himself. Mu Baichen patted Suyun's shoulder and squeezed it hard. This kid didn't come to take over his position, it was a pity. But Mu Baichen didn't say this. He suddenly understood the feelings of Wan Guangxiao and the others. Although they felt that he was the most suitable, but they couldn't bear to push him in at all. Mu Baichen knew that if he opened his mouth, Suyun would definitely be a person who dared to enter the dock department. He was a person with a sense of mission. They were the same kind of people. Mu Baichen could feel it. You're tuning in to the Narrate and Escape YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.